understanding. Lovely bunch, lovely bunch. Okay. What do you mean the media was... Oh, everything is fighting me this morning. I am so sorry. Aaron, Cryosticks, what ho! I've got some lovely dev friends to introduce you to as soon as Twitter stops being an ass. Oh, what's that? You want to tell people about the stream that you're doing right now? No, 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 no. Wait, why did it save that as a... Oh, my word. I don't know if you saw my tweet earlier today, but I did say that people who include high-quality animated GIFs with their press kits are officially the MVPs of the world. 1 million thank you.
So that's us? We count?
Yes. Yeah, it's an MVP award.
Mo is very keen on making beautiful high quality.
It's true. Those, I'm sorry, GIFs.
GIFs.
GIFs. My God.
We're not monsters, jeez.
Who have I been working with for 2 years? I know, it's like I don't even know you.
I'm working on it.
Alright. So... Oh no. You know, in the preamble I mentioned one of our lot was having a terrible time today. That's Erin Feathers in chat. Their graphics card has decided not to play ball on the same day that Monster Hunter comes out on PC, so we're all offering technical support, hugs, and ferret facts to Erin today.
Oh, good luck.
And right, so to my lot, meow, Kitty Sakura, Mr. Ghost, some numbers, Chronofire Caffeine. What ho to you lovely folks, how goes it? I have some lovely people to introduce you to, which I'll probably do multiple times throughout the day. But rather than me horribly butcher everyone's names as I do, would you both like to introduce your lovely selves?
Sure, Beatrix, why don't you go first?
Oh, sure. I'm Beatrix of Framing Noise. I did all of the sound and music for Anamorphine.
Ooh.
And I am Samantha Cook. I'm a co-founder at Artifact 5. I also do production, business development, bookkeeping, anything really. Oh, narrative as well. So jack of all trades over here.
Yeah. Keeping up long-standing, bizarrely meandering email threads after GDC.
Indeed.
Oh yeah. Ours was very sporadic, but great. Truly great.
Empires have risen and fallen since we last hung out.
Sounds about right.
So,
well, thank you for having us on the stream.
No, not at all. I've been wanting to get proper hands-on with this game since I spoke to you a lot at GDC, because I didn't have a chance to play the show floor demo, and I kept like drifting past it and being like, ooh. And then I believe we got to hang out at okay, GDC's turning into a massive blur right as I need to be remembering specific locations. Oh, I think we wrote. I think it's in the thread. I met one of your crew at the Rooster Teeth party at GDC.
Rooster Teeth. Oh, it's probably Mo.
It was
Tall
indeed.
Guy, beard, glasses. Yep. Looks like another guy who's Irish. Yeah, definitely him.
Indeed.
He has a doppelganger. It's really every GDC they like hang out together and everyone confuses them for each other. It's the best.
Oh, that is both awesome and eerie in equal measure.
It's the best.
It happened to me this GDC. I walked into the common room and immediately waved at a stranger.
Yep. This happens. It's great.
I mistook someone who was very famous for someone else who was very famous to their face. And they were very lovely about it.
Aw, I'm sure it happens all the time.
Okie dokie. Hang on, just making sure I've got audio setups done for the game itself, just so I'm not drowning all of your lovely commentary out.
That's right, sir. Don't drown us out. Not her beautiful music.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, GDC was a crazy cavalcade, and this was one of the things that stuck with me. Because, as I'm sure you've experienced, like, you know, you come away from GDC, you got a stack of business cards the size of your fist, and you've heard about a million different crazy games, and you've heard about a million different weird pitches. And there's some ideas that stick with you, and Anamorphine was one of those. And I was really worried, because when we were chatting, it was back during the EC days, and I didn't think I was going to get the chance to cover this, so... yeah, once again, I want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day, because dev time ain't free, yo, and for coming on the show.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is purely out of passion. What financial model?
No, it's really a pleasure to be here.
It is.
Yeah, it's nice. It's going to be cool to see you play the game and answer questions and follow along. It's a neat opportunity.
So, just going to jump back into chat. So, Vanderbeest, Kestrel, Stooge. If I didn't already say to Mr. Ghost, I'm going to say so again. What ho, you lovely folks. Lovely to have you with. I hope... Bismarck! Hindle! Havred. Sneaking on in there. Roguelink, what ho! So, we have these lovely, lovely developers for you today. You all know the drill by now. If you've got questions about the process of making this game, taking it to market, the inspirations behind, cook them up, send them across. I believe one of our lovely guests is also going to be keeping an eye on chat in case I miss things. So, yeah, feel free to throw questions at. And to our lovely guests, as much as we spend a lot of time playing very silly games, one of the things that we like talking about over here are the process of creating games, how people take a game to market, especially in 2018, because this year is weird.
This year is weird. Why do you say that?
I mean, do you want to go by today? Discord's now selling games.
Was that? Wait, what? Since when?
Since they rolled out a limited beta test to 50,000 Canadians today, Discord will have an integrated setup.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's probably a really good choice for them.
Yup. And the idea that someone can start giving... we've spoken a lot about it, is Steam have been resting on their laurels quite a lot, and some good competition will either... will hopefully light a fire under Steam to do better.
Yeah, I think that could be really good for the game economy right now.
Yeah. I don't know if you both saw that any games with sexual content were stealth banned or stealth hidden last night, which turned out to just be a bug.
Oh, because I know Steam also just sort of liberalized and said we're not going to censor games, so...
Yeah.
Interesting.
I am all for...
The foot!
Yeah. I'm all for all forms of content and media being allowed, but I think for a healthy marketplace you do need curation because, I don't know, another piece of fun Steam news from the last couple of weeks, an indie-looking platformer was actually a cryptocurrency miner using people's rigs to mine for cryptocurrency.
Oh.
Yeah, and that made it through. It also contained fake Steam items that could be used to scam people in TF2 for large amounts of money. So there we go.
That's just so sketchy.
It is, but that's allowed now. So go!
That doesn't sound good.
So what holds Tedwin? Bismarck. Bismarck's asking an unrelated question, which is, how do you feel about strategy game DLC that costs, for example, Europa Universalis has over $200 of DLC. In all fairness, EU4 has been out for donkey's years, and it wasn't like they released with $200 worth. Now, this is one for the group, so Mr. Ghost is opening on a strong one, which was, what marketing was there behind this title? What was the plan? Is this part of said marketing? Are we part of a marketing campaign right now?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. We also noticed that you guys didn't like our sound quality because we sounded like we're in a church, so we're moving.
We are moving into a quieter room.
Right now.
I liked the church echo. It gave it all some it gave it the sound of grandiousness. I made that word up. I apologize. Oh, while our developers relocate, we'll just keep with the waffle train going. So Stooge is saying they hadn't heard about this until went to PAX East. Erin is saying they did a thing. Erin, have you got a solution to your problem? If so, I'm so happy. I got a little message from Tal while I was doing tech setup saying, yo, the community's coming together to help Erin, and I had to go have a look.
We're back. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I do miss your church echo though, but you know, I'll live.
So sorry, but this is probably for the best.
I know.
All right. Anyway, so we were being asked about marketing. Like, what was our marketing strategy? Is this part of it?
Yeah.
How does that work? Right?
Because I think
Gosh.
2018 is a very different year for taking a game to market. So, and I almost think that Mr. Ghost asking this now before we've got into the narrative, into the experience, is really interesting.
Well, it's funny for us because this is actually our first game. So we have nothing to compare it to. Launching right now to us is the first time we've ever launched.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can say, well, when we launched a game in 2016, it was so different, because we haven't done that. We have, of course, watched our friends do that. We're in Montreal. There's a ton of other indie game studios.
There are indie games in Montreal?
Just a couple.
My God.
A lot. You're gonna bring my British accent out. This is gonna be weird. So
Yep.
I am technically British. It's not fake. I'm also American and Canadian. Never mind. Anyway, I'm a lot of things.
This is going to be a really good day.
It'll be great. So, we've seen our friends like Kit Fox, who did like Moon Hunters, and they're coming up with Boyfriend Dungeon, and
Way cool.
and our friends Clever Endeavor did Ultimate Chicken Horse, and there's Cardboard Utopia, who've done Children of Zodiac. So like we've watched them release things over the last 2 years, for example, and
wow.
we did a lot of the same things they did, but of course we have a totally different game than they do, and times have changed. So it's like, oh yeah, let's go to a lot of conferences before the game comes out. We did. We went to PAX East twice. We went to GDC 3 times. We've done Montreal conferences, a whole bunch, even some in Europe, because everyone's like, yeah, you get your name out there, and so we went, but it's hard to know if that makes any impact because we weren't selling anything yet, so who knows.
I did find with every conference we went to, more and more people would say, oh, I've heard of this.
That's true. Yeah, so that was a very low level kind of person-to-person marketing. Sometimes you get some press, which is great. I did think that was helpful when we were with back when we were going to publish on Xbox first, along with PC. Haha.
Oh, wow.
We were in a press event with them in 2015 at GDC. I mean,
okay.
2015. That was a long time ago, and we got great press from that. But of course, we thought the game was coming out 2 years ago. That would have been great if the game came out 2 years ago. Turns out games take forever.
Who knew?
Anyway, all this to say, we did a little traditional marketing through a PR company called Evolve. They're Canadian. And it's a little hard to measure how helpful these things are sometimes. They give keys to streamers and press and help us find people who want to write stories. And that could be helpful. They arranged some press for the GDC last year. But when it comes down to it, we've got a kind of weird game. And it's always been really hard to explain to people unless you put it in front of them and give it to them to play. And it's hard to do that while you're in development and when you've got this whole long narrative story. And you don't want to give away too much, but, at some point, you're just going to be saying the same thing over and over again for 3 years. And people would. So it's always been hard to figure out how much to say, how much to show, and trying to get attention when you only have so much you can actually show people.
Indeed. And not to throw stones. Obviously, as the host, I'm allowed to be a little bit snarky, but the crowd here have had to listen to me rant about the both successes and mismanagement of We Happy Fuse campaign, which
other friends of ours.
Yes, we know them as well.
I can't comment as to the quality of the game that they are making, but their marketing has been such a confusing ride. They went very heavy very early on with the thematics and then started showing a lot far earlier than they should have. They even went into an early access system, which
I remember
was, in my personal opinion, very ill-advised. So I can understand the challenges you're facing. Yours is a narrative experience, an emotional experience. You can't give that away piecemeal. You can't ask people to just ignore the missing content and set drops. Just tell you how it feels right now.
Right? It makes it very hard to playtest too, especially since we built it more or less linearly. It was okay, we've got the beginning. Okay, we've got the middle. And then we're oh, we've got the end. We're launching. I hope it works. But it's funny. I mean, the people from Compulsion who made We Happy Few, they came in to mentor us back in 2015 when we were first starting, and that was one of the things they said. It was don't give away too much too early.
God bless him.
I don't know. I think it's been hard for them to have so many different models. They went from Kickstarted to they got bigger with, they weren't early access, then they got Gearbox, maybe it was the other way around. And then of course Microsoft just bought them. So I mean, they've just been, there's been so many different life cycles that I can only imagine how hard it is to stay consistent across all of that.
Will you or your team be announcing a season pass for Anamorphine today?
A season pass?
Sorry, that was some industry snark there. That you know what? That was unkind, and I apologize.
Sorry, I'm very sincere. I'm like, how would that work? I don't know. Maybe? What?
Again, We Happy Few announced a season pass for their title. No, please. But anyway, I could get into the weeds about this. This, my lot, they have to listen to me waffle on far too much. Mr. Ghost was asking if this game was kickstarted, was it an Indiegogo project, did you have publisher support, or self-funded?
No, yes.
Self-funded, you badasses.
Sort of. Yeah.
Well, there's a fund in Canada called the Canadian Media Fund, which a lot of us indie devs up here take advantage of. And, they were a second funding source, but they were our main funding source. We got an initial, what would you call that? Seed fund? Through Execution Labs, which allowed us to make a vertical slice proving our concept, and then we used that to get CMF funding.
Yeah,
cool.
Which wasn't the bulk. It wasn't all of our funding, but it was the chunk that allowed us to really start.
A little bit over half.
I'm just going to break that down because what my lovely guests were just saying is, if you can do it, is probably one of the better ways of securing funding whilst securing your independence. Basically, you use a concept to gain a small amount of seed money, which allows you to create something that you can then shop around. You can then create a tight, focused version. A vertical slice, as my friend described it, it's like a delicious slice of ham, as used to describe just one, and it's the perfect slice. And then you use that to describe how you would build the rest of the sandwich.
That is a really good analogy. I like it.
Thank you. So you create a small demo is not the right word, but a small proof of concept.
Not even vertical slice at that point, because that's, God, we didn't have that for a long time.
It was chapter 3, right?
Something like that. Yeah, it was really, like, we took like an early, when you play it, we'll point out, we'll be like, that's basically what we made, but really, really early on.
Did it, how much of your vertical slice made it into the final product?
All of it.
A lot. It looks a lot better now, but
we basically it was one of the chapters in the game, and so we built the rest of the game around that. But it's basically still there. It's very iterated upon, but it's there.
Cool. My sharp intake of breath again. I should probably explain that to viewers. Is the amount of times that a vertical slice makes it into the game in its intended form. Far fewer than anyone ever says. No, it's fine. We'll spend all this time making a demo and a vertical slice, and we'll add it into part of the game. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, we had our post-mortem this morning. We've been thinking deeply about like how this process went over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And we probably could have iterated even more. I'll give us that. I think sometimes we made design choices and we stuck to our guns a little too much sometimes, but it came together really well, so I can't criticize too harshly. But one little thing about what you mentioned, yes, we got seed funding and that helped us make a slice, but we'd made a slice before that. Technically this game has been in some form or the other in concept or being worked on for 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
My two other co-founders, they came up with this thing in university and they worked on it on weekends and one night a week for a year, and then they showed it at a demo night and they got a lot of public praise, and so they decided to spend the next year figuring out how to make a company, and that's where we came in.
Yeah.
And then 6 months after that we got into the seed funding thing and the incubator, but my goodness, it's been a long
and that original
trail.
Concept is very, very distant.
That's really different
from the actual game. It was basically a mechanical demo, but it was quite aesthetically beautiful, and it's almost unrecognizable from the actual final game.
Yeah, my grandmother accidentally watched it after I sent her the trailer. I sent her the trailer we just put out for launch, and then she ended up watching this weird looping, aesthetic, witch house, electronic music thing. And she's like, I'm not sure I understand your game.
Bless her. I have one question direct before we get started. So I'd like to plug a sale link to this game because this is out now, isn't it?
Yes, heck yes. Plug.
What is which store would you like me to push to?
Steam's fine, but it's also on PlayStation if you have a PlayStation.
Oh, way cool. That's right.
And it's also Vive and Oculus on Steam, so really, it's yours for the choosing.
Indubitably. All right, I'm just grabbing the Steam link now. Because,
if you hate Steam, it's also on Humble Bundle and Green Man Gaming.
Green Man's still going?
Yeah?
Wow.
You seem surprised.
Let's continue with the game! So, Stooge, one of ours in chat, has played this game before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save story and inspiration stuff until we're at least a little bit in. Okay. And without further ado, I say let's roll into this, if that's okay.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Well, see, hang on. Mr. Ghost was basically asking what I was, which is which method pays you the most? If our team buy from Hundle, do you get a better... Is that a thing you can comment on?
I don't know if I'm technically allowed to comment, but I'm just going to say do whatever you want.
Okay. Roger. Okay, without further ado, let's begin.
Bum, bum, bum.
We obviously have to choose the orange sticky because that is clearly superior.
Sure, whatever you want.
Okay, so... I'm just going to read this out. This game contains material that might be upsetting to some, including depictions of depression, substance abuse, and more. If you are distressed and want to talk to someone, there is a link provided, which is one of the, I believe that's the US crisis centers.
Yep.
So we have the option to read the content warning in full, if you would like to read that. Please note these content warnings do contain spoilers. Select turn on skip scene. If you would like to have the option to skip the game's most triggering moments. So I guess what I will say as a blanket warning is that we're going to be getting into the weeds on this one. If there are parts of this game where you need to step away, that is entirely fine. Now, again, my viewers have had to listen to me rant about this. I do believe that games are one of the best tools for empathy in these situations, or if you have gone through them, they are a great way of understanding them. We did Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice in the past, and while that is not a game that I would say was fun, it was important. And
I hope people will say the same about ours.
So I am not going to be turning on skip scene, but again, if any of you feel like you have to step away at any point during this game, go for it. I will take no offense.
We can tell you when to close your eyes.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if the game is in Unity. Yeah, we did develop this in Unity.
God bless Unity for all the good that it does. All right, and we are beginning. Oh, I can do it with controllers, so you don't have to listen to my tappity keyboard. Really?
Yes, we have so many control options, it's unreal. Sorry, I mean it's Unity.
Hey!
Oh.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
I'll be here all afternoon.
Be sure to tip your server. Right, here we go.
My humor now starting the game.
Oh, so it's a remake of Silent Hill: The Room. Okay, that's. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I offset genuine emotions with humor because that's how I process things. How are you?
You are British. It's only sensible.
Yeah. Well, that and copious drinking.
We feel ya.
Okie dokie. So I'm just gonna start exploring this little teeny tiny room. So what did we have? We had, I guess, the Unity question. So, all right. Both of you joined this project, like post-founders. Am I correct in saying that?
I am a founder, but yes, there is the two guys did start a little bit before us.
I apologize. So the original concept of perpetuity existed, and then you joined. What attracted you to this project specifically as a thing to dedicate a large chunk of your life to?
God, so much of my life. Yes.
That was a weighted response.
Oh, it's been a long trail. I saw it at when they made this demo and put it up at this big demo night. Is this big Montreal, formerly IGDA demo night, and I saw it. It was actually being made by someone I worked with, our programmer, now my co-founder, Rami.
Yeah.
And I went to this on a whim, not knowing he was showing it, saw it, and I was like, oh my god, my coworker is making this? What? This is incredible. How does he have the time? He's so talented. Wow. And boo, 10 months later, he's like, hey, I'm going solo. I'm going to go make this game. You should come do business, come do everything we don't do, produce it, whatever. And I was like, he's like, come contribute to the culture with us. I was like, man, well, gosh, I mean, if I can, let's get some funding and sure.
Yeah.
Why not? It was just so beautiful and so cool and so different. And I was working in like mobile games. Yeah. It was not a no-brainer. It took a lot of decision making, but I think it was a great choice.
Yeah. And we have a lot of love and respect for people who work full-time in mobile games. It's an honorable profession, but it's not, making something that may or may not have a genuine emotional effect and emotional connection on people.
Oh, yeah. And, we found Beatrix in the best way possible.
Oh, my God. It's so funny.
It's so good.
We were at the Global Game Jam in 2015, I believe, January 2015. And I was just going into the bathroom, and Sam was coming out of it. And she looked like somebody I knew. But I just had this moment of recognition where I was like, wait, do I know you? And that's how we met.
Yep.
And pretty quickly we realized that the team and I shared a lot of aesthetic tastes, and then I got a chance to see that same original demo that Sam had seen, and I was just on board immediately. I loved the aesthetic, I loved the surrealness and the weirdness, and I was really, really happy that happened, because it was a great experience to be a part of.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's see the first chunks of this cello come together. It is a cello, right? I'm not being a complete...
It is a cello, yes.
Okay. Did that just move forward?
Dun, dun, dun.
Man, is it wrong that this opening scene is really making me want to order takeaway food?
No, I understand. Takeout's delicious.
Yeah. Although I have proper food for later, so I'm all good.
That's good. I'm glad you're going to eat like a real person.
Indeed. It's also, that was not a prop. Last time I mentioned takeaway food, the lovely people in chat bought me a pizza, so...
Oh, that's so kind!
And, yeah. So, as I'm slowly starting to put this together, this is very clever. So I should say, on this show here, we've played a lot of narrative games, we've played a lot of emotional games. Some interesting ones we've done recently were The First Tree, and we finally had a crack at Sunset the other day. So we are versed in these kinds of titles. I felt that was worth saying. We're not just a bunch of Fortnite numpties who are like, oh, I've seen this game at GDC, I'm gonna go have a go at it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's... Your accent for that was no comment.
That's how I read internet comments. I've been doing that for years, and no one can hurt you if you read it in that voice. You're like, hey, you are bad and stupid, and you should quit your job and go get in a fire. You're like, whatever, mate. Sorry. Okay,
right.
The amount of detail just in here is crazy.
Thank you.
All right.
Try to be crazy.
Oh, there we go. Oh! Okay, that transition was crazy good. Sorry, I'm going to stop using that as an adjective.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like it'll keep happening. We want it to keep happening. It's okay. Now, we're a few seconds... We're on the same voice channel as you, but we're a few seconds behind the visuals, so unfortunately we can't react with you, but this is very exciting.
It's fun. If some narrative elements are happening, which I feel we need to listen to, I will let you know. And I just need to take a moment to thank Javier for donating $5, saying, did I hear that Will was hungry?
Aww.
So basically, this year has been a weird one, and I ended up going Indian solo myself, so... I'm basically living off the donations from chat peoples, so they've been keeping me alive, and I get to keep hanging out with cool people like yourself. So,
aww, I'm so glad people in chat feed you. That's so good.
Yeah, I know. I'm super glad about it too.
You're good people.
I need those panda slippers in my life.
Oh, the panda slippers. I've watched a few streams now, and everyone
really
talks about the panda slippers.
And fun fact,
Go
the
on.
panda is one of the few things that came all the way through from the very original demo.
That is true.
So these are famous panda slippers.
At this point.
All right. So my next follow-up question would be panda slipper merch when?
That is the merch we should have.
Oh my god, yeah.
Will, you're so smart. You
And
saved
that
us.
pillow.
You're welcome. I'm not even charging. Like this is pro bono.
Wow. Thanks. Indies supporting indies.
Yeah. This is super cool already. The layout of this environment is feckin' brilliant because it's clearly the inside of a truck as someone's moving. You can hear the movement, and already the music is gorgeous. I hope the music's coming through proper. But it's just set up in such a wonderfully surreal way. That manner that you can only really do proper with video games.
Say something, Beatrix.
Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, without Beatrix, I don't know what this game would be like, but the music is so key.
I am going to say nice things about the stuff that you have made, but if we should actually meet again at a future event, we'll pretend like no one said anything complimentary. You know, we can't disrupt the industry circle of cynicism.
Oh, no, see, I don't believe in the industry circle of cynicism. I'm just too happy, damn it.
And you know, the industry here in Montreal, especially the indie industry, is so supportive.
It's
and
not
positive.
cynical at all. Yeah, going to GDC is exhausting. It's like, oh my god, everyone's posing. Why?
Oh,
Up here, everyone's just like, let's all hang out and give each other advice and be nice.
that sounds lovely.
It's amazing. Come here.
Actually, if I find a way, I would love to, because some of the independent scenes that I've been a part of, there's a certain amount of, I don't want to say elitism, but there's the ones that are struggling to make it, and then the ones that have not, and the ones that are already successful, and you know, the ones that want, and the camps are very clearly defined in those groups. Also, chat is going nuts for the panda head pillow.
I noticed. We definitely need merch.
So I would probably get a panda head pillow before the slippers.
Oh.
Do you mind if I tell a completely unrelated story?
I mean, it's your chat.
We did I worked for the Creative Assembly for a bunch of years. So I'm ex-game dev. I don't know if that was mentioned.
I don't think I knew that. Cool.
Yeah, so I did 9 and a bit years dev side. And one of the shoots we did, we declared war on Valentine's Day. And so we bought, you know, those awful gifts in like card shops. We bought a ton of them, and just we destroyed them with hyper caliber rifles. It was, you know, we were working on a strategy franchise about war. You know, it made sense.
Yeah.
For one of them, we decapitated a giant teddy bear with a sharpened Roman gladius.
Oh my.
And I took it home as a trophy of my war. My best mate and flatmate at the time sewed it up, and it became a throw cushion for our sofa, and I've still got it.
Amazing.
Sorry, I just wanted to...
Really comfy.
It really was, though. I mean, it had singe marks from, you know, the shot rounds going through it a couple times, but yeah. Anyway, I do apologise. So, Mr. Ghost had a really good question, which was the notes on the chalkboard. Does anyone here play cello or music in general?
Yes, the notes on the chalkboard are actually a song we hear her teaching students later in the game. Should I give it away, or?
Please, because we might have missed it. So, let's crack this open.
It's a pretty classic melody. You'll all know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one's gonna be like, I've never heard of that before. Especially not the Brits.
Ah, yes. So we can expect something of either the early or classical work of one Sir Vanillian Ice, I believe.
I know that's what I learned in my early music lessons on the harp.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I wish.
I know I do get very emotionally invested in a lot of these games, and so I'm basically pre-cooking what will be a feels cascade with some silly humour now.
It's in theater. It's called oh, thanks, brain. What is it? Comedic relief? No, something else. There's a term. Basically, the idea is that, like, say you have like a Greek play, then you get like this.
Oh, catharsis.
No, that's something
That's
else.
from tragedy.
Yeah, that's different. No, but like you have like a dark scene, and then you have this light scene, and it kind of builds people's mood back up. But they only do that so that they can drop you further when things get dark again.
Oh, there's a...
That's the purpose of comic relief, is to like actually make the drop worse. It's like a roller coaster. If you just go down, not as fun as if you go up, then down.
Which is why the symbol for acting is a happy face and a sad face.
Mm-hmm.
One's to complement the other.
Tragedy. Yes, my theater background actually came in really handy with this game. I feel like the idea of catharsis, the idea of like we technically have like a 3-act structure, not that it's obvious. The whole thing has this background for sure.
So, I'm staring at the chessboard at the moment. Is there any meaning behind this setup?
There is.
Well, I know there is about something later. I'm actually not sure about this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is the same setup as we see
It's
later. Okay, there
I don't
is
think
a
it
later
is.
setup that does have significance, but this might just be an early placeholder version of that. I'm not sure.
Honestly, should know this and don't. Our bad. Mea culpa. Us culpa. I don't know.
No worry. One of the local... Oh, wow. Oh, okay, that's super cool. So everybody, see the TV there? You see the gap in the inside of this truck. Now watch as I rotate around. That's so cool! That's so cool.
Man.
So one of the cool things we have here in Seattle is a lot of streamers all meet up and hang out. And I got hanging with this one gentleman who streams professional chess. He's really good, super cool guy. And he's got... Yeah, he was pointing out the amount of films and literature where the layout of a chessboard has a narrative significance. And so it's got me staring at those.
Good. We like him.
All right. So, and we are moved into our currently non-trashed apartment. Welcome to the Montreal Symphony Orchestra. They have sent maple syrup, donuts. Oh, I want donuts. Oh, God, I want donuts.
Is that a hint to chat again?
No. They have all been incredibly generous of late. I just need to go to the top part of the road. Let's have a look. No reflection. Interesting.
Oh no, we're gonna get the cleaning bill for blowing someone's mind. We can't afford it. We're indies. Someone crowdfunds our cleaning bill.
Cryo's
God, I've eaten there like every day for the past 2 weeks for breakfast. Kill me.
No.
I just love their wraps. They're so good.
That's okay.
Are we a vampire? Maybe.
That would be the best cheesy reveal at the end.
Such a good twist.
Yeah.
Such a good. He sucked out her happiness.
Third act reveal. This is not the story you thought it was.
Oh, so we are about to meet the first person character. All right.
She's alive.
She's got super cool glowing hair. How do I get glowing hair?
I think you can do glow in the dark, but I don't know if technology's hair tech has caught up with our
Blacklight
Unity.
Hair.
Blacklight hair. That's it.
Unity, currently doing better than real people hair. So, just as a quick reminder to everybody in chat, if you have a question for me, if you have a question for our lovely, lovely dev guests, please
I do have a question here. Yeah, where we are from.
Yeah.
I'm from Saskatchewan originally, which is in the middle of Canada. It's a prairie province just north of sort of Montana and North Dakota.
I'm from Massachusetts in the States, Worcester, Massachusetts. I've been in Montreal for 12 years, though. And I'm getting my Canadian citizenship. I passed my test.
Woo!
Very exciting. British parents, though, so also British. It's a lot. It's a lot. And we have I should talk about the team a little bit. So we've got
Please do.
my two co-founders, Mohamed Al-Khatib, who is from the Middle East and from Jordan specifically, and Rami Dagstani is from here. He's also got roots though in the Middle East too. And our programmer, Mehrdad Dadashti, is great, and he's from Iran, so that's cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
So yeah, we've got some great geopolitics in our little team. And we had another artist for like a good year and a half, 2 years on the project too. Philip Hogg. He was great. He was from
Toronto, wasn't he?
no, he's from Calgary actually.
Oh, that's right. He's a Prairie kid as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So we've got a good like mostly sort of Canadian Middle Eastern mix, and then there's like me in the middle.
English, American, Canadian combo.
But yeah, I mean, we're, a lot of us sort of have the immigrant experience, and all met here, doing our thing.
That's super cool. I mean, it's something that's been discussed a lot this week. Is kind of diversity of team increasing kind of like your creative scope. It's lovely working with friends, but if you are 5 people from the same town who will know each other and have the same experience growing up, then your views on the emotional impact of a situation of how it can change is going to be very, very similar. Even if it's something that doesn't necessarily have a geopolitical element, even if it's just talking about one's personal experiences, these things are affected by the environment we grow up in. So, yay, you've got a good team. Sorry, that was less of a statement. It was more of a statement than a question. How are you? I was going to add that if anyone has any questions for our lovely devs, please either at me or if you're keeping an eye on chat.
Yeah, we're watching. Is this a feels game? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's yes. The answer is very yes. Cool. The impossible geometry so far is proving to be one of my favourite things. And I just want you to know that even if I was playing this solo, I'd still go through and look at all of the objects, because I fucking love doing that.
Cool.
I know it's a... So far, there hasn't been any narration or voice acting. Is that going to continue throughout? Is that a question I can ask?
Yeah, we've been pretty open about that. If you read stuff about it, that's right. There's actually no text, no voiceover. I mean, this is it's clearly not a silent experience. You're experiencing a lot of music and sound design, which is super key. But that's so important because we decided not to put in dialogue. We wanted to tell this touching story without, the usual trappings of the typical storytelling methods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've noticed that vocal work that voice acting work has been used a lot to cover a lot of ground in indie games and hasn't always delivered the impact it was intended. So it's both very impressive and very badass to attempt to do this kind of narrative title without using VO.
Thank you.
It was one of the original core concepts coming in, was that we wanted to be able to tell this story with the mechanics and the environments and the sound and music without falling back on traditional storytelling devices.
That's super cool. Were there any other tropes or storytelling tools that you avoided specifically for that reason?
We also didn't have cutscenes. We really wanted the experience to be fluid. Like and it was so hard at some points. You want to just grab the player and make them look at something, but we made the decision to never do that to the player. Like everything you do is completely based on where you decide to look. And sometimes we'll you'll see anyway, we have tricks, but we never take control from you.
Yeah.
Oh, what the
like that.
What the hell? Woe betide the rest of us if you ever make a horror game.
That was another core tenet. We didn't want it to be a horror game because a lot of games that do this kind of thing are horror games. We're like, no, we're going to do this without making it horror.
Yeah.
So it's atmospheric, but...
And now things are getting more than a bit surrealist.
Aw, thanks. Shucks.
Whew.
That's what we like to hear.
Keeping it surreal.
Keeping it surreal. It's our unofficial motto. I mean, it's on our business cards, but it feels unofficial.
Yeah.
I came up with it, and no one told me no.
That's the best idea.
Thank you. Good job.
All right.
And I wanted to say to people in chat, I'm glad you like the Journée du Chat Noir poster. I've also had that in my apartment before, and it's technically not under copyright anymore, so you can use it wherever you want, which is great.
Also, thank you so much for pronouncing the name for me. I have a hard enough time pronouncing our users in chat, like...
Yeah, well, I mean, we live in Quebec, right? We're in French Canada, so il faut qu'on parle français.
Yes. Un le chat, un de la table. Ah.
Wow, so good at French. He's now good at French.
Why is that the phrase they teach you to start with? The cat's under the table. Why?
I think it's on the table, but yeah.
Exactly!
I mean, there's usually a cat on the table if there's a cat, to be fair.
True.
They're much more likely to be on the table.
Yeah,
than
cats
under
love
it.
tables. That must be it. Are you getting a Salvador Dali vibe? I hope so.
Heckin' totally. I swear
This is supposed to be our mind.
That's so cool.
When the point of no return for spoilers is coming up, yeah, we can do that. I mean, there's kind of 2 points of no return. Depends how much you want to see.
The game is essentially in 3 acts,
Mm-hmm.
with a shift in the story at each point. So we could tell you the first and second points, and then it's up to you.
Yep.
Okay, and also, because Mr. Ghost was pointing out, like, there was, in some of the earlier areas, I wasn't able to show all the things because I was exploring a little bit too quickly. Absolutely, pick up a copy and play this, yo. As we've spoken about this before, in that with a lot of these experiences, watching them is not the same. Taking your time, like on a quiet evening, or slowly going through this at your own pace on a Sunday morning, like that's a far more personal experience than just watching me. Especially considering as I will use humor to diffuse me feeling things, because that's what I do. Also,
Yeah.
cool shoes.
And what was I going to say about... Oh, yes. One of our friends jokes that there needs to be a weed rating for games now that marijuana is in Canada. As of, like, mid-October, it'll be legal here. And she's like, oh, your game needs to have, like, a weed rating of 5 out of 5. It's like how high you should be to play a game. I'm like, it depends what experience you want to have, right?
Definitely.
If you want to connect emotionally, I mean, that could heighten it. It could dull it. It depends how you react to these things. But, yeah, I want to pioneer the weed rating.
I actually know a gentleman who does cannabis journalism, so I'm sure he'd be keen to
Hook us up.
You know what? I shall.
Yes. Amazing. I'm breaking into a whole new market.
I find the idea of thinking of games as part of a transitory experience. So part of, in the same way there were certain albums that are terrible, but if you get absolutely munted, are incredible experiences, or certain films that I find that idea fascinating. I'm not saying it's necessarily the goal. I'm just distracting myself, but looking at this person's alcohol collection. I do apologise.
Oh,
the cello.
Sorry.
Good. The cello music is phenomenal.
Thank you. Artifact 5 was very kind in allowing me to hire an actual cellist to perform it, which helped immensely.
I'm so glad we did that.
Yeah, me too.
So, man, I kind of wish we hadn't put that mortar and pestle next to the wine. Everyone's like, what the heck? What are you doing with that? I'm like, this looks sketchier than we meant it to, I swear. But hey, whatever. People can read into it however we like. And someone was saying, was missed an influence. I mean, I'm not going to say we don't like it when people say that. We definitely like it when people are like, ooh, it's like Miss. I'm like, yes, my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Myst is definitely one of the original games that inspires this whole genre.
I'd say it's the first walking sim in a way.
Really?
Or all walking sims are just adventure games like this. I mean, that was puzzly too, of course.
True.
But yeah.
Personally, I dislike the term walking simulator because there's so much going on. It's walking sim to me feels like a snark from the side. Video games always ask you to experience.
Yeah.
And as Stu just saying, like, a lot of us never got past the piano puzzle in Myst, so, you know, fuck it.
Yeah, fair. I watched my dad play Myst. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I was like 4 and I like sat on his lap and he was like playing Myst.
Yeah, me too.
That was my Myst experience. So
I attempted it when I was like 10, but it was over my
Yeah.
head. But I did watch my dad play it as well.
Yep. It was good times. And it's true, mortar and pestle. It's true, not that sketchy. I have one at home. It's, you know, it's I don't know. The last thing was in it. It was like black salt. I don't know, nothing sketchy.
See, I think that's the one thing you would use it for on a bar is
You
for
could muddle
salt
things,
or
or like
muddling.
if you're doing like a mojito, you could put your mint and stuff in there and
Oh,
give it a
yeah,
muddle, right? Absolutely.
A friend of mine, who I guess people in chat will know, Dylan. He has a Messlin Porter. Blah, blah. I know how human words work. He has a mortar and pestle by his bar for doing stuff like that. Like there are some cocktails you want to crack pepper in and stuff. You know, a good Bloody Mary and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody
So-
Marys. Or in Canada, we have our Bloody Caesars with Clamato juice.
Mhm.
The strangest, I don't know if people in chat know about Clamato juice. It's tomato juice with oyster juice in it.
It sounds terrible, but
It's
it makes
so
the
good.
most amazing drink.
We swear it's delicious. Also, I don't think black salt is just pepper without the spice, but maybe I'm misreading. Sarcasm.
It's salt with volcanic
Oh,
acid.
oh
It's
wow.
like a sulfuric flavor. It's really good. Ooh,
I'm
ooh.
sorry to interrupt, but the string section just kicked in, and oh wow,
I think we know what's happening.
oh wow.
And this is actually, this was our vertical slice, this section right here.
Oh yeah, everything you're seeing. Well, kind of. Oh,
I
you
mean, the original vertical slice obviously didn't look like this.
it was more the apartment. Like the apartment was sort of the original vertical slice, but this whole idea, this is what we've been showing for over 2 years.
Yeah.
Indy Kylo was like, haha, suddenly No Man's Sky. Yep, that's right. All along, this was the frog fractions to No Man's Sky.
Good. Oh, I met those guys at E3 last year. They're so nice.
Wait, Hello Games, the frog fractions people. They're both lovely.
Yeah, the Frog Fractions people.
That's on my grand list of games to stream for people, but most of that day will be me explaining frog fractions and how it messed with the entire industry.
That seems fair. Yeah, I still haven't played it. I really need to actually try it one day, but I've heard such great things.
This is so lovely.
Thank you. How do you feel right now? Tell us.
I don't know, but as soon as the extra music kicked in and the transition happened, the flower pattern slowly bleeding up through the walls, and then
The musician for this, we hired a musician to play the music, but all of the music was written by myself.
it's so
Oh.
good.
I'm sorry, Jack Skulch. It takes, I'd say, 1 hour to 3 hours to play, just so you know. Enjoy your flight. But yeah, Beatrix wrote everything.
This
She's
is so
a
good.
freaking genius, and someone needs to give her like the best job in the world after this job.
I just lost the best job in the world.
No,
This
it's
game
not
was
we
it.
Aww.
We're so lucky. I'm so glad I met you in a bathroom.
Wait.
So lucky.
That is a brilliant story. But I know, I just have to jump back to that. So we're not going to get an Anamorph 2 Game of the Year edition. It's not going to be... I've been holding out for the TeamBased Shooter follow-up to this. Are you saying that's not going to happen?
Can you imagine? We have thrown around the idea of making like an endless playable version of this scene because people seem to really like spending time in here.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound... I can entirely understand that.
Yeah. Someone turned it into an ASMR channel already.
Yeah, there was an
Wow.
ASMR
I'm like
live
really,
stream
really flattered.
of this scene. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, just staring at this and listening to music. I'm like, yeah, good. Someone's enjoying it.
Okay. Promise it's not a horror, right?
I swear. Psych. No, it's not a horror.
Because that's some very big, like, brightly coloured Geiger-esque.
Even VR, like, it feels even bigger. It's really wild.
Ah, yes. Now, I won't get into the back and forth of it, but were there any additional challenges that came from developing in VR as well as for standard users?
Gosh, well, it depends how honest I'm going to be.
If you want to skip on to another thing, that's fine, because...
Oh, no. VR, I'll admit that VR, we planned for it early, but, oh, sorry, I'm just reading this comment.
Yeah, this comment is really interesting to us that one Mr. Ghost just posted.
Which comment was that? Because I'm currently eyeballs deep in a glowing forest of crazy brilliance.
We'll read it. Oh, thank you.
I'm Mr. Ghost read, I have made something very similar to this as a proof of concept to a psychologist who would use it as a VR thing in conjunction with certain treatments. And the reason this is so interesting to us is because we actually did really consider the psychological applications of this game and what we were creating, and we did consult with a psychologist as well early in the process.
Yep.
Just because of the types of issues we were dealing with.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we were going to represent things in a besides all the surrealism, represent things in a realistic way when it came to the actual sort of meat of the story and what happens in it. And we've talked on and off with sort of the mental health community throughout the creation of this process of this game, but we decided not, it's not meant to be a therapeutic tool though. It's still meant to be technically entertainment, but one that reflects realistic things that could happen to people. Part of me is like, oh, maybe we should have made something that like helps people with their depression, but that wasn't really our goal per se. But we did want to make a story that was about real issues.
Yeah, we wanted it to resonate and not feel tropey.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
do we want her conclusion? I'm one Mr. Ghost. Yes, do tell. The ground is breathing. It's horror. I mean, depends what you. if the ground breathing freaks you out, maybe.
Kind of reminded of Unreal 2 with the flesh planets. Just a little.
Oops. Sometimes we reference things we don't need to.
We've all been there. I can entirely understand why people would spend hours just in this area. Stooge is asking me how I like the undulating ground. It's dancing that line. It's dancing that line artfully. It doesn't make me feel unsettled or grim, but it's uncanny. The scene is beautiful but unsettling. Not in a gross way, but in a... It's the tail end of a trip. It's that reminder that the scape that you are in is not something you control.
That's very good.
That's astute. Deep words, Will.
Yeah, I can level it out with a dumb joke or a pun in a second, just in case anyone starts thinking I know what I'm doing.
An open water feeling. Oh, cool. Dropping acid and then making what we saw.
Oh, hell no. Obviously having no Whoa! See, it's stuff like that is why we are not doing acid and playing this.
No, I wouldn't recommend playing this.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
That's
yes,
yeah.
But we're not the police of you, but I've been informed that the one thing you should never do with psychotropics is go indoors and outdoors. Like, don't go into different sized areas. Yeah, supposedly that messes with your brain too much. Supposedly, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm reading one Mr. Ghost's thoughts on how VR, or he's saying conclusions from the psychologist were that VR cannot cure depression or things like that. It's fine as an additional tool along with real treatment, quote unquote. The VR tech does not innovate or improve the treatment notably, but it was a possible substitution for spending time outside, which is part of some treatments. That's interesting. It's been, excuse me, words. I went to Games for Change a couple of years ago, and what's really interesting is that some games are now starting to get FDA approval for use as treatment. So, like, there are medical uses for games. I mean, clearly not like, Call of Duty's not going to get an FDA approval. Like, it's clearly experiences that are built to be part of treatment. But I think there are a lot of untapped implications and applications for what we can do with VR still. So I'm curious to see what comes out over the next few years.
I would love to see more happen with that. I mean, I think I am personally more emotionally susceptible to video games because I put a lot of myself in, but VR removes a lot of those boundaries. And I'm sure everyone in chat is sick of me ranting about this one, but what I love about video games as an art medium is it doesn't ask you to observe, it asks you to experience. And that's powerful. If that could be used for good, for medical good, holy crud.
Right? Here, I will be right back. Beatrix has got you for a minute.
No worry. I need to take a moment to quickly thank Isocrid for a $5 donation saying, too soothing for sudden noises. Actually, yes. I'm sorry, Isocrid. You didn't manage to scare me silly. Beatrix, in one of our previous runs, we were doing Subnautica, and I changed the donation sound to be a horrific monster roar in the distance.
Oh, God.
As I'm sure you can imagine, nothing bad happened. Nothing bad happened.
Yeah, the experiential nature of video games is sort of what brought me to them. I actually started my career in film sound.
Way cool.
But when I went back to school to study sound design specifically, I just wanted to get a better hands on the tools. And in that schooling, I got a chance to try out interactive sound with video games, and just the next level immersion that was possible blew me away. And so I switched my career's focus and moved to Montreal, and within 6 months was working on this game.
Very cool. Now, I'm sure you're sick of people asking this one, but I feel it's something that I feel your opinion in it would be more valid than mine. Is, have you had a chance to try Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice?
I have not played that. Sam may have, but I'm afraid she just stepped out.
No worries. Well, okay, but that kills my follow-up question. My follow-up question was that they used binaural audio to simulate hallucinations. And the concept of voices talking in your head. And that would be very effective. Yeah. So, if you do get the chance to play it, and you have a free hour to come on in the future, I'd love to hear your thoughts and feels on that, because it was.
Yeah, that actually sounds like something I would really enjoy. I'm a big fan of playing with sound space, and there is some binaural audio in this game as well. It can be really, really effective for getting under people's skin.
Yeah. And Hindle also pointed out that the donation sound used before saved my life in a video game, so that's another story. A complete, quick, teeny tiny tangent. Someone was pointing out to me that some of the games that we play, the Sniper series, are currently on super duper sale. So I will make sure to link to those in Discord later. Right, I do apologise for derailing the conversation there. I noticed in the previous scene there was a little bit of the ambient sound effects there, just I guess to complement. Like, again, I don't think I have a question other than just a holy wow, that's awesome. Holy wow, that's awesome!
Well, thank you.
We've just reached the point with our star cellist on stage, and the music is gorgeous. Oh, okay. Sorry, I turned around and there are now a lot of mannequins in this place. See if I can go downstairs and get a better view. Oh. Yeah, Mr. Ghost is asking the important question.
Yes, the soundtrack is on sale on Steam. I'll be putting it up on Bandcamp next month, but for now it's available on Steam alongside the game.
If someone very kind... if Tal or Caffeine could link directly to the soundtrack on Steam, I would sincerely appreciate it. We had to stop links in chat because there was a couple of bots that were doing the rounds on Twitch, stealing people's accounts. But Yes, yes, applause. No, no, please, hold your applause. No, no. You're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you. Thank you. No, really, no, please. Come on. Come on, you are all professional journalists. Sorry. If you haven't seen the Devolver Digital E3, you need it in your life. Oh. Oh, you did it again! Okay, I'm sorry that that whole section went very quiet, but holy Toledos, that was gorgeous. So there's the music again up on the board. So is this our recurring theme? Is this the music that's going to be taking us through this?
The music in the temple? Is that what you're asking? Or?
Well, I'm back in the side of the temple now. I've just come through the concert, and so
you're asking about the music that we heard in the concert hall.
And does it relate to the music on the chalkboard that we're seeing now? I'm a musicophile, so no. Wait, what's the one? Neophyte. Wait, yes. I don't know music real good, like, so I'm actually asking a bunch of questions.
Well, the music that you just heard, I think of it as the theme song. It's sort of the main song of hers, and I guess a little bit of music trivia is that all of the music in the game, with one exception for reasons, is in the same key and references a lot of the same themes. So if you were to hear the soundtrack, for example, you would notice that it's a bit of a concept album in that sense. There's a lot of references back to this piece of music.
That's super cool. Sorry, I was just taking that moment to link to the soundtrack.
But no, the music notes on the chalkboard are actually, she uses that chalkboard to teach in a scene that you'll be entering in a moment here. And the song that she is teaching to the children is the song that is written on the chalkboard. So I'm sure you'll recognize it in a moment.
Oh, it's just doing a little bit of cheeky loading. Okay. So, I guess one of the things that I'd like to know is at what point during production did you start implementing the music theory around this?
Oh, from the very beginning.
Okay.
So I joined Artifact 5 before they were even officially a company. I just joined a few months after Sam. That would have been in the early spring of 2015. And they brought me in to do all of the sound and music. And I was doing that from the beginning. I'm a big fan of combining those things when possible. You'll especially notice this later in the game. There's sort of a blurring between those two concepts. And so the music was really key from the very beginning, particularly since the story evolves around a musician as well.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who's thoroughly underlearned when it comes to music theory, I guess last year, someone sat me down and showed me the music theory stuff behind Steven Universe, how each character has an instrument that represents them, has a style of music when different things come together. So even if it's for the layman, what are some of the music theory elements that we're experiencing as we go through this?
Well, there's definitely the theme. There's a certain sort of melodic progression and chord progression that underlies most of the music in the game, just to tie it all together and give it the same feeling.
Yeah.
And there's moments later in the game where I will start to take the music that you've become familiar with in the first act, and start to pull it apart and explore it more, and it gets a little bit more abstract, you might say, or surreal. I really wanted to tell the story through the music, not just in the obvious way, but by taking the music and just disintegrating it a little bit along with the storyline. I don't want to go any further into that as we're so early into the gameplay still.
No, I understand. There's the cushion again. Honestly, I think if merch conversations are being had, panda face pillow needs to exist. I'm just gonna say it now.
We've looped back to panda pillow. It's a serious thing.
And Cryostick saying these people put the art in Artifact 5. Hey.
Aww.
Yeah, Cryosticks, can we please get the number of that lady's hairdresser in the end, please? Like, I will go full glowing over ginger. And... Oh, the way that this manipulates space and time is fascinating.
Why, thank you.
So we were just discussing the music theory that carries through the game. I am completely unknowledgeable about music theory, so I was just asking some of the elements there. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Whose children are these?
There we go. Yeah, so this is the song that you see on the blackboard.
Blackboard singing in the dead of night. Oh wait.
No offense, dead-eyed children, but you are getting hard carried through this. This is a hard carry right here. Don't give up your day job, children.
That one, Mr. Ghost has got my song reference. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Yes, it is London Bridge.
Ah, ding ding ding, we have a winner.
Alright. Where to next? Oh, here we go.
I think it's London Bridge. I don't think it's the plural bridges. It's just one London Bridge.
Yes, London Bridge.
Sorry, I'm a stickler for accuracy. I know Blackbird is the most beautiful song. I don't know if it's my favorite Beatles song, but it's just so, like, poignant. Ah, so good.
Oh, does anyone want noodles? I got some leftover noodles. I've got some fruit
please.
as well. Is that an entire tub of Skittles?
What?
Is that 2 Tupperware tubs of Skittles there?
Oh.
I think it's cereal?
That's
Technically?
Alright, because that would be a lot of sugar for any human.
Fruit Loops, maybe.
Clearly Willow's hungry. Yeah.
Part of a nutritious breakfast.
Nom nom. It's like secret Canadian cereal that only we have.
Ah, the music on the blackboard has changed.
What could it mean?
I would have to have someone tell me because I can't read that.
Maybe put milk on Skittles. I guess it could
Go
be
up to the
cereal.
chalkboard a little bit closer. I just want to take a look at it.
Okay.
I think I know.
I'm heading back. It might be a couple of seconds behind, so.
Yes, you were still in that room when I said that.
Alrighty. Isacrid saying, you are not supposed to slam down 2 tubs of Skittles, Will. I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to do a lot of things. I'm not supposed to stream for 13 hours, but I've done that.
Aye.
It's one of my few superpowers.
It's the theme song.
Yeah, so this is from the game itself. This is sort of almost a...
This is the cello theme song.
This is what she plays.
Yes, this is what she plays.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so like when the room around you transitioned before, like that's what she was playing. Beatrix is a mastermind of music. We've added into the game.
Yeah. So what you're saying to me is that Beatrix is actually canon in this universe.
Yes. Beatrix
Confirmed.
is
Confirmed. Everybody confirmed. You can clip that. It's been proven. Oh.
Uh-oh, someone points out, Reflective Gamer says it's missing the time at the beginning.
Well,
time?
I think it's because in this case she's sketching it for herself, right? It's the music that she's playing, and it's more of a reminder track. It's not for anybody else.
To Rorschach Panda.
It
Doesn't know what you're talking about. I see two birds looking in opposite directions.
I see the face of every dev who is thinking of releasing their game at the same time as Red Dead Redemption 2.
We launched last week because August is going to be nuts for games.
Yeah,
And
it's
which is weird.
I guess because everyone's moving out the way of the big kids this year.
They're trying.
They're trying.
Oh my god, everyone's doing Rorschach blot tests now. This is amazing.
Chronos sees a ferret. Some numbers definitely sees a panda. See, Mr. Ghost.
2 bears high-fiving. I love that.
It's 2 kids spinning a bar stool.
What are those kids doing in a bar?
Yeah. Where are their parents? One of the games we played on the show in the past was Beyond Eyes, which is a fascinating title. You play a young blind girl trying to find a cat. And the whole world is... You experience the whole world as this watercolour painting, because that's how her mind's eye sees the world around her. We spent the first hour of that game screaming, "Where are your parents?"
A fair question.
So, but yeah, Mr. Ghost was saying, why isn't her hair glowing? And then we have some clearly prescribed medicine and a grey evening. We can extrapolate a lot backwards from just this scene here.
Environmental clues.
You're enjoying this way too much.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love watching people play this game. It just makes me so happy. It sounds weird because I know you made it and everything, but like, it's just so nice to watch people go through something you put so much time into and have them like
get
it
and you know, just investigate it, like want to know. It's so very lovely.
Yeah, but now as we're back into the day, her hair is glowing once more. So we've been shown kind of the difference in her moods. All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
We just got checkmatted. I'm going to take a photo of that and send it to my chess friend.
I know one Mr. Ghost. Spelling is hard.
You have to put up with me, so it's fine. So there's London Bridge again, right? That's we've returned to the kids teaching.
Yes.
Just having a look around. There's the panda staring back at me. It knows. It knows.
What does it know, Will?
It knows the future scene. Who puts popcorn in a pestle and mortar? What kind of hipster couple is this?
I'm not sure who greenlit that.
You know what? You know what would be great to keep my super light DVD snack in? Weighty granite.
It was handy, you know.
Oh god. We didn't want to build another bowl to texture that shit.
It was handy for Elena and Tyler too. It was just right there. It had a bowl-like shape, you know.
Yeah.
They were like, they're lazy. They grab some wine. They're like, whatever. It's right there with the wine.
Oh, okay. I mean, in all seriousness, like we've talked a lot about economy of art, and like making more models means more work than it just appears. So
that's good.
We played.
Sorry, I just have to shout out compliment Cap for the panda of Delphi. I just think that's for anyone who doesn't know,
that.
Reference to the Oracle of Delphi, and that is very funny. Okay.
The panda sees all. And now it's Christmas after all.
The DVD logo is bouncing around the screen.
I don't know. It isn't. It like goes on and off.
Oh yeah, it fades.
It just blinks. It makes me sad that it doesn't like travel around the way it should.
We got cookies.
Nom nom nom.
Is
this a house or an apartment? It's an apartment.
Cello hit songs for Christmas. Nice.
As one has.
The panda once again sees all. All right.
One Mr. Ghost really wants you to look at the thing she's wearing around her neck, for the record.
Okay, I will do. So first, let's open our present. It is a classic antique camera. Nice.
Ooh. Oh. Some number's 26. I'm going to respond to your question about rent in a minute.
Also, we got her a bike. That's super cool. like a classic kind of cool kid bike. Wait, I don't know if I can get around to look at the necklace proper, so we might have to wait till future. Ah, Jesus! You did it again! So this is interesting. Because each time we're coming through this, we're coming through a different room, and we're bringing different things with us.
Will, thank you for paying attention.
Hey, I'm not just a loud voice. That is one of my few skills, though. So actually, I want to jump back to another question whilst we're having a look. Also, Camille K, what ho! Lovely to see you all. So Stooge mentioned that you were demoing this at
PAX East.
Yes, and you have demoed at previous shows. How in the bloody hell do you demo a game like this?
Well, you just show the first few scenes, and I think, was I mentioning earlier, we built it linearly, like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, so we basically just started showing whatever we had at a certain point. Like, we always built these little demos, and then we actually spent way too much time building demos for shows, to be honest, instead of focusing on full game production. But once we did sort of have the game in production, we would just sort of take what we had. So that started out being the first scene through, like, the trippy, like, No Man's Skyland, more or less, was it for a while. Then we added the concert scene to it, and that was about it. At a certain point, we had like too much. We had to start showing less.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was something like that.
So
this temple has had like 3 or 4 iterations. So, like this is very different over the years. The final one, but
I'm so happy with it.
Oh, it's good. It's way better than like the first or second iteration.
Yeah.
It was more like a cathedral before, like it was like an enclosed room, and there's still a lot of light, but it was very different.
Okay. Stooge was pointing out that the end of the
Yes,
the end of the concert scene was where the demo ended, so that's really interesting.
Yes. We had various demos, but that was probably our most common demo, was the one that showed the mindscape and then the concert hall.
Yeah. Sorry, Cryosticks got me with a cracking pun, which is, now that you're outdoors, are you hiking blonde? Badooch.
Oh.
You're a criminal, Cryosticks. You are a criminal.
That's good. As a huge fan of dad jokes, I'm really pleased.
So, I guess one of the things that I wanted to ask is, and I don't mean this to start any kind of negative conversations, but are there any artistic works that this has been compared to that you think are unfair? Because my knee-jerk when I first saw the trailer was to compare it to Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. But I don't know if that is a compliment or if that is doing this a disservice because I've not played through yet. Are there any things that this game gets compared to that you feel are unfair?
Well, I'll just respond to the Spotless Mind thing, which is we've been telling people that since the beginning. We're like, because a lot of people are like, what are you making? And we couldn't show it, or it was hard to explain. We're like, imagine if Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was a video game. And they'd be like, oh! And I'm like, yes.
That's a really strong elevator pitch. Right now. I just didn't know if that
was...
I mean, it is niche and it's hipster and all that, but I feel like that's kind of what we're doing.
In the very beginning
memory
of the process, like in the very beginning of development, we had a lot of trouble describing the game because it's pretty different from a lot of other games, and that was one of our original like go-tos to help sort of describe the feeling.
Yeah, especially since we started making this game, as we mentioned, we've been doing it for on and off for 7 years, but in the past 3.5. The only other walking simulators out back then were when our co-founders came up with this, only Dear Esther was a thing.
Yeah.
And then you got Gone Home, and we were like, okay, cool, kind of like those games. And then as we've been in production,
so many others have been released.
Tacoma, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and I
wish that were everybody's bloody gone. I wondered where they were.
And things like Virginia and the Dragon Cancer, these all came out while we were in production. So we had this idea a long time ago, before all those games were out, and like if we'd gotten to market sooner, I think we would seem a bit more original than we do now. I mean, we still have a lot of original things in our game, but walking sims weren't even as much of a thing when we were first making this game.
Indeed.
As for unfair comparisons, I'm not really sure. I feel like people have been pretty spot on. We've also gotten comparisons to Hideo Kojima's PT, which was intentional on our part too. So we deeply appreciate that people have noticed this. Although, I mean, with these sort of infinite revisiting the apartment thing, it's pretty clear. But without the horror vibes, though, again, people sometimes say layers of fear, which to us is also funny because like we came up with all of our stuff way before their game, like before their game came out, but they came out first, so we get compared to them. So we're like, all right, fine. We played it as a team though, and we're like laughing ourselves. We're like, wow, okay, yep, we're on the same wavelengths with these guys.
Yeah, but in playing it as a team, it was interesting to see what they were doing. But it felt like such a different experience that from our game that it wasn't really.
Oh, insanely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are the main ones I've heard.
Okay. Oh, Zergon was saying the bike controls actually look really good for this sort of thing. They are. And I love Edith Finch. 50% of its non-standard control sections are inspired and brilliant, and 50% of its non-standard control environment stuff is fucking garbage and made me angry. There, I said it.
We played it as a team, so we each took turns playing those.
Yes, that's right.
It was nice. Sometimes we play games as a team because we want to like make sure we're paying attention to other influences and like
that's super cool.
doing it together.
And
it's nice.
It's one of those things.
This bike movement had tons of iterations.
Oh yeah, I mean it's still not perfect in my opinion, but yeah, it did have a lot of work put into it.
I mean, Merdad was working on it pretty exclusively for a while there.
Yeah, one of our members, one of the two.
Yes.
Spent a lot of time on this puppy.
It's super cool. Yeah, I found that obviously the famous scene, and I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't played it, in Edith Finch, using controls to enforce the narrative was brilliant. But then the fecking bird section with the fecking rabbits.
Oh, the first one you mean?
Where you have
you're flying.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Well, it's funny. I played a demo of that in 2015. I mean, we showed Anamorphine at a little festival in Texas called Fantastic Arcade, and Edith Finch was being shown there too. I mean, this is 3 years ago. We were both in development at the same time, and they had that scene all the way back then. I think it was harder before, but I remember it being hard this time too. All right, Beatrix was playing it, and I wouldn't shut up about how to do it. She had to tell me off.
I was playing that.
I'm an asshole. When people are playing games, I'm a backseat driver, and it's really bad.
Well, in this one, I'm not only inviting backseat gaming, but I request it.
I mean, you are streaming.
Indeed. But it was, I found that was very interesting because there were some segments where the way that they the way they changed the control scheme to reinforce the narrative as it was continuing was sometimes just so inspired. But that bird section caused me to throw a lot of swears out and kind of took me out of the experience.
I thought you were going to say it caused you to throw up. I was like, oh no.
Oh no. The only thing that's maybe really chunder in VR was doing the early Oculus TF2 demo.
Ooh.
I blew chunks.
Thanks.
But that was because all they'd done to port it over was just use the movement of the headset to control the vision, and the rest was the same. Alleged man asking if the devs used actual retail store mannequins.
I see that question, but I'm not sure if it's a joke or what the actual question is.
I don't know either. Are these official, regulation standard mannequins, or are these off-brand?
Definitely Artifact 5 brand.
Oh, yes. Good. But yeah. The problem when talking about Edith Finch, like with a lot of these games, is that the bits that are inspired, you don't really want to discuss because you want people coming to them to experience them firsthand.
Absolutely, yes.
That was so quite...
Yeah, artist models is actually quite a bit closer to our original intention. Exactly. Huge, yeah.
Alrighty. See if we can find our cello cool kid partner somewhere in this. There we go. There she's glowing. There she glows. No one? There she glows? I am wasted on you people. That was some grade A material right there. You did it again, didn't you? Yup. And on this one, I ended up with... I ended up taking a terrible picture for this memory. It's just, unfortunately, her nose and arm. But there we go. There we go. Oh, this is very cool. So, I don't know if it was made apparent after the last scene, but all our previous little adventures are all kind of storing in these little compartments. Like, we're bringing this whole thing together. So, there's the day out on the bike. This was Christmas. And there's the concert. So, let's see where this adventure takes us.
Adventure time.
Come on, grab your friends. We're going to explore their emotional stabilities.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, well, you know.
You started this.
This is all my fault. It's true.
Alright, now time for some more bike riding.
It occurs to me that... Meow Kitty Sakura says, it occurs to me the shape of the temple is like a brain. I agree.
Couldn't possibly comment, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, and how is she so fast on a bike? I know this is my mindscape, but my...
Well, I'm a little early.
Sorry.
Have we got another contestant?
So we have Scotch Club at work sometimes, and it's today, and it's starting now, and they were going to be we're in, but I went and told most of them that they can't because we're streaming. But one guy popped in, he didn't get the memo. He's so sweet, but I had to like give him a shush sign and point him out of the room like a meanie.
Oh, you have
but
Scotch Club.
I have to go out to get scotch, which is sad. It's okay though. You're more important.
Okay, firstly, yes. Also, oh dear.
Uh-oh. What happened?
By the looks of it, the bike stacked it.
I would say something, but...
Rhymes and Moose has very important questions about Scotch Club, but we are coming back to that. Stumposaurus just went with dibs on a gear.
Oh, dark!
Oh, yeah, I think we're starting to see where this is going to go.
Bye, Mr. Ghost. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hi.
Yeah, and Mr. Ghost,
your insight.
thank you for the stonkingly good questions, yo.
Seriously. Too much speed stat, not enough maneuverability. Wah, wah.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have popped that blue shell. That was really rude of me. That was, yeah. I just feel bad.
We noticed the panda slippers in the hospital room. Alleged man.
Yep.
Good note.
This...
Oh no, we have a crier. Sorry, compliment cap.
I know how this is. Well, I don't know how. I have an inkling as to where this is going to go, and now, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed those happy feels we had in those previous scenes.
Act 1, now over. This is Act 2.
Yeah.
Yes, we're into Act 2 now.
Mm-hmm. So this is, yeah. Oh, right. Someone asked us to mention when we were getting to the point of no return. So, like, if we forgot, I mean, that was one of them. I would say that, not watching that would be good if you want to play it yourself. But anything from this point on, I would say if you want to play this and have fewer spoilers, like now, I mean, not that I want to drive away your audience, but now is a good time to bow out.
Yeah.
Put it on mute.
I would say that it's probably going to get a lot darker from this point. So, yeah, the happy, fluffy... Yeah, I know, shocking that. What I'd also like to do is, just before we get into the proper emotional meat of this game, because a lot of people have just come on in. Hello, one and all. We are playing the gorgeous Anamorphine. Anamorph was the feckin' book about the kids who turned into animals. That's a different game. If you ever consider doing a crossover, that's the one you need to go for. I am joined by some of the lovely developers at Artifact 5 who made this. Would you care to introduce yourselves once further?
Absolutely. So I'm Samantha Cook. I'm a producer / biz dev / jack of all trades, design, etc., whatever. And
co-founder.
Co-founder also. Oh yeah.
Yes,
I run the studio. What?
My boss.
Yay.
And I'm Beatrix Mersch of Framing Noise, and I was the sound designer and composer for the game.
She's our favorite. Never leave us. Thank you. Thank you forever.
You have my heart.
Oh, you have my heart. Sorry, we're back. We're
That's-
done.
Bye, Stooge.
Stu's saying, yeah, sadly I must go. Have fun, and you're going to make Will cry. Oh, damn it.
We're gonna try.
I was doing... So the last one we did that got me bawling was a game called The First Tree. And I was doing fine, and then at the end, I won't spoil too much, but it asks you to leave a message to anyone else going through this.
Oh, wow.
And
Clever.
yeah, I'm just blubbing at that point. Just tears.
That's really sweet and mean.
Yeah.
Good.
I rant about it a lot, but I believe very much in the artistic medium of games because it makes you feel. I think that's one of the most important things. And while a lot of our main staples of the industry are about feeling empowered, or about feeling like a badass, or about feeling like a super cool kid on an incredible adventure, but that doesn't limit what games can do. I frequently rewatch the Dragon speech from the classic GDC vault.
Dragon speech. I don't think I know that one.
Oh, it's the theory of play. Hang on. You know what? Remind me, I will share it with you. It was one of the original founders of GDC who left because he wanted to take games in a more meaningful and artistic direction, and it didn't succeed. Whereas GDC main was being pushed into a more commercial kind of route. And he does a whole speech about the importance of play, the importance of games. And it's, looking at it now, it's prophetic.
Wow.
That's great.
That's it. Well, or dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're really happy we got to make a game that we consider art. I think it's really hard. There was also a question earlier, do we have a publisher? Do we, self-publish, whatever? And, we had the Canada Media Fund, but we spoke to a lot of publishers. And I have to say, no one really wanted to take a risk on it. Like a couple people got it, and it is hard to show. It is hard to convince people to fund you when you're building something so linear sometimes. Yeah. But no, it was really hard, and I do think the industry still doesn't know what to do with this kind of game.
Yeah.
I think consumers like them sometimes.
Yeah, I think consumers are more excited about it than the publishers. They're scared of it.
I mean, that's one of the things we've seen of late is that there is a huge difference between consumer demand and classic publisher understanding of that. Some of the micro publishers have had a better grip on it, but still not to the same extent. Rhymes of Moose is saying that they have the link. Links are still turned off, so Rhymes of Moose, if you message me the link, I'll post it in chat, and I'll post it to our lovely guests for the speech. Isocrid is saying, never mind drama, where's the handsome doctor? And pointing out that the lack of Dr. Sexy MD does bring into question the believability of this scene.
Oh, I see. That's fair. We should have really reconsidered that choice.
Well, there's a mannequin with doctor's pants on.
Oh, did I miss that?
For a mannequin, it's dressed very well.
I thought mannequins were supposed to be dressed well. They're mannequins.
That's their one job.
You had one job. Rhymes with Moose, you mentioned Woo CMF. How badly did you drown in paperwork? Oh, my friend. So much paperwork. My God. I mean, we've done many applications since for other projects and haven't got them too. So, we got very lucky with this one. I mean, it was a good concept. And they would have been nuts not to take it. But, oh boy, what a lot of work.
Oh.
There is a doctor model mannequin. You just have to find it.
Okay.
It's not in this part of the scene. Don't worry about it.
And we're probably going to start getting onto some heavy emotional topics, but one of the things that I like about this is the weird maze-like quality that hospitals have. Anyone who's spent a large amount of time in a hospital, especially over over a course of days or weeks, you get lost, you get turned around. It's so easy to not be able to find your way in a hospital because of its strange symmetry. It's strange symmetry. And that's something that this scene's got down pat.
Thank you.
I know I should be asking more questions than I'm just telling you things, but...
No, I'm very happy with that. I mean, sometimes there's nothing much to say, but thank you, I agree, I appreciate that, you're spot on, yes.
You shouldn't say.
It's nice to see you experience the game. As
Yeah,
well.
we like this. I like Indie Kylo saying, this room is the essence of hospital gloom.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes.
compliment. That's exactly what we were going
I
for.
think technically the lighting's broken in this scene, but let's not talk about it.
Really? I thought this was a creative choice. I love it.
No, the lighting's broken. Don't worry about it. It was like about to ship. I was like, Mo. He's our art director. I was
I
like,
super like
this
it.
isn't supposed to be this dark. He's like, no. I'm like, too bad it works.
Yeah, no, I super
Ship
like
it.
it.
Yep. Also, teeny tiny shout out to Sub Numbers for getting my cheeky Supernatural reference I snuck in there. Yes, Dr. Sexy MD is the show from Supernatural.
Oh.
Yeah,
I should know these things.
that's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Rhymes with Moose. Yeah, having a dedicated biz dev person definitely helps. They want you to have a really well-rounded team. They want someone who can focus on the business side because they really, they actually do want you to make money as much as they say they're just there to help you make experimental games or whatever.
Yeah.
It's complicated. It's more political than it might seem from the outside, I think.
It is. Are there any?
No, but you know.
What the shit bin? I was going to say, are there any examples of those biz dev challenges that you can talk about that you were able to overcome?
Biz dev challenges. Yes, we ran out of money twice, and I got us more money.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Is
At some point, you're like, well, if we stop now, we're totally screwed. So let's see what we can do about that.
is there anything you can? Is there any detail you can go into about that? I know when it comes to biz dev stuff, sometimes it's not something you can discuss, but I think that is relevant to people who want to make games, especially in 2018, where the market is massive, but the ways in which you get there are weird and varied.
Yeah, sorry, Indie Kylo. I hate when my girlfriend leaves alcohol TV vortexes around the apartment. I know, right? Pick up after yourself, Elena. If the bottles you've emptied start pulsating in the air, you have one too many.
Just you wait.
That's just when things start getting fun. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, honestly, if you haven't gotten like swarm of beer bottles in the middle of the room drunk, really, are you even trying?
So, but to answer your biz dev questions, I mean, it's weird to be transparent about these things and to be honest about it because it is so stressful, I think, and like, and you always want to look like you're doing really well and successfully and know what you never need money. What are you talking about? We're super successful all the time.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we're a new company. It was our first go around. I think I can probably break it down into some main themes without going into too much detail.
Okay.
But so we got our seed funding from an incubator, and we got our CMF funding, and we thought the game was going to take like a year and a half to make, which is hilarious. It took us like
3.5.
3 years, yeah. So
Oh, wow.
so that's hilarious. Yeah. So yeah, the time more than doubled, but the budget didn't. So it's been a little tight. Basically, once we ran out of money the first time, we got really lucky. I basically started looking for a publisher at that point. But
Okay.
everyone's kind of like, oh, I don't know. Your game's like, it's cool. Send us a demo, send us whatever. And we were
Yeah.
like, okay. And then everyone was sort of like, oh, it's cool, but I think we're gonna pass. Like most people did that, which I understand. Everyone has their different priorities.
True.
So what ended up happening was a fellow indie game studio here in Montreal. I was talking to them about how I was looking for like a little more funding to finish the game, and they're like, "Oh, how much do you need?" I was like, "Oh, this amount." They're like, "Oh, that's all?" I'm like, "Well, to us, that's a good amount. That's important, but to you, oh yeah." Like they've they don't actually publicly talk about that they funded us because like they don't necessarily want other people going to them for funding. But I will say that they have done very well. And therefore, they had that kind of money basically not lying around, but like they were willing to make a deal with us. So in return for some funding, we gave them revenue.
That's
Basically.
super cool.
Yeah, so that was really lucky and really great of them. And like, they didn't have to do that, but like we all used to work together before we went indie, right? And they're a bunch of nice, good guys, and they wanted to see us make the game. So that was really amazing.
That's super cool. Well,
And then we ran out of money again, and we got our tax credits funded. So that
Okay.
was super, super technical and boring, but like that helped a lot. Thank you, Canada. That's one of the reasons there's so many Canadian game companies is you can get a lot of money back from the government if you do like certain research and development stuff, and if you do multimedia like this. Yeah. So yay.
How everyone was joking earlier about how we were suddenly moving into PT and stuff. Well, this suddenly just became Death Stranding. So, well, there we go. And what I was going to add is that we won't discuss it on stream, but if you are able to mention who those people are on the quiet after stream, I will make sure to buy those lovely people a pint.
That'd be great, actually. They'd probably like that. Yeah. Oh, actually, they're not big drinkers, those guys.
Well, that means it's just a cheap round. It's great. It's great. Buying thank you drinks for people who don't drink is great. It's cost effective.
It's true. Yeah, I actually really need to send them something to thank them for launch. It's been so hectic, but I should be doing my my due follow-ups. So many jobs. Why do I have so many jobs?
So little time. I was going to add something very clever, but I'm now having a great time cycling around. Oh, actually, some numbers is possibly slightly tapped into my brainwaves, which is asking, are you going to be doing PAX Prime this year?
No, we will not be at PAX Prime. I'm sorry. We are so far away from Seattle, and it's so expensive to go to shows. Nope.
It's not a worry. Because we're actually doing a pub meet of our very own.
Oh, no, I told you to turn around at the wrong time. Oh, you shouldn't listen behind on the stream. God damn it! What have I done? He was going the right way.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, everyone.
I think the stream we're seeing is about 30 seconds.
Oh, God.
I'll never do that again. I apologize, everyone.
Oh, I might have killed it. Oh, no. Go on. Go on. Oh, I might have killed it.
Oh, no.
Oh,
He got stuck. I'll be really sad.
Oh, I did.
Oh.
I'm trying to get out.
No. Oh, no. You found one of our bugs. How could you?
No, we're good. We're good. We're good. I moved. Alright, everybody look away. This is some serious juddering. This is on me. I'm so sorry.
So the way to escape this, if we have to, is to use the menu, go to quit, and then continue. It'll start you from the beginning of the scene.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just quickly do that. It's alright. We can just see what is clearly our partner floating in the sky.
Oh, no.
Dark.
Yeah, we were joking earlier about how it was, the prelude to Kojima production. Yeah. We're actually playing the very first build of Death Stranding, we just don't know it.
So I like to say that our game is what happened... Oh, no, wait, I can't say that to you. Finished. Never mind. Spoilers.
Wait, why did it do that? I do apologise. Bear with me a second. For some reason, it just decided to... Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Everything is fine, everyone. Everything is fine. There we go. Alright, so then we just go...
Oh, shit. Continues broken. No! So, I'm so sorry. You're having another bug. I'm so sorry, everybody. You're going to have to quit the game and come back, and then continue will reappear. This is going to be patched tomorrow.
Hey, it's not a worry. It is not a worry.
So sorry.
No,
My bad.
It is absolutely fine. Let us get back in. So I tell you what I might do. So I'm going to kick this off again. Should jump up just about now. What I might do is go...
yeah, indeed. Yeah, that's... Sorry.
It's the reality of making something interesting and experimental in this space. Bugs happen. Bugs happen in massive games.
The save file is there. It'll be fine once he restarts.
Yeah, it's literally a menu bug that we have now fixed. We're going to be putting out a patch for PC and VR, I think tomorrow, Friday, and that will fix all of these problems.
And there we go. That's our continue.
Some Mesa stuff. Like we went in and cleaned up the desert a little bit because that is not the first time we've seen that happen. Oops, not in that exact spot. I might have to report that one, but
it's near what it.
So continue? Yeah.
Yes, oh, absolutely continue. What I was going to say is I'm quickly going to refresh my teacup. So I was just going to take a 2-minute break. If you would like to chat with the lovely, lovely people we have chilling and illing with us here. Oh, why are you choppy now?
Uh-oh. Fingers crossed.
So we're back in, but the frame rate has
Oh, that's interesting.
Why is that?
It might be a little confused. Maybe if you get into the desert, it'll improve. I'm just saying that, though. I'm not technical. What do you think, Beatrix?
Yeah, this is over my head, too.
Shoot, we could get Rami in here.
It's alright, we're good. Let me throw myself into the desert, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
But yes, I'm
Cool.
going to take a quick 2-minute break,
Yeah.
just so I can refresh my teacup, because I already need
Well,
it.
We'll entertain everyone, happily, no problem.
Oh.
AMA! We developed a game called Anamorphine and met in a bathroom. AMA.
Oh, I love that.
We are in problem zone.
Shit. Sorry.
It's
Try
alright.
from the-
You know what? I'm going to do that tea break, because this is a lovely spot to do so. You have my wonderful people of chat, you have an excellent pair of devs to question to your heart's content. Be nice. And I will be back with you all in just a second.
Yeah, I really enjoy your tea. I'm wondering if I should go get one of our programmers and be like, why do we fix this?
Okay.
Well, that sounds entirely like a plan. I'll be back in just a second.
I'll go. Beatrix is entertaining. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Night Valian 28. We mentioned it earlier, but we met in a bathroom at GDC. Oh God, no, not GDC. At Global Game Jam at GGJ 2015, because Sam looks very much like someone that I used to know in Vancouver, and so I had this flicker of recognition and stopped her, and that's how I ended up doing all the sound and music for this game, because life is wonderful that way. Yes, I love it. I go every year if I can. We're based in Montreal. Neither of us is from Montreal originally. One of our programmers is. Sam is originally from the United States, and I'm originally from Saskatchewan. Can juggle the longest? I can juggle a little bit, maybe like 20 seconds. I don't think I've ever seen the others attempt it. Hi, Alberta, fellow Prairian. Canadian healthcare system is amazing. I'll only ever say wonderful things about it. They're great. Yeah, my dad had kidney cancer, and it was, it was tough emotionally, but that was it. They took care of him. It was great. Milk? Oh, none of us do that. That's sacrilege. It's so silent in here now. They do sell bags of milk in Canada, but it really depends on where you are. I've personally purchased a bag of milk, but I know that some provinces have them. Favorite kind of beer? I'm a big fan of porter. There's a local Montreal beer, St. Ambrose Porter, which is just amazing. Tim's order? Honestly, I don't go to Tim Hortons much anymore, but if I do get myself a donut, it's probably going to be an old-fashioned glazed. There is another project in the pipes, but we're not allowed to talk about it yet. There's a lot of great craft beers here, especially on the coasts. Actually, the prairies are catching up. When I go to Saskatchewan now, there's some pretty amazing craft beers there. I've never seen a moose.
Just a second.
No.
Yeah, I create incredibly unhealthy snacks. Okay. How goes it with your lovely selves?
They're asking me a lot of Canada questions. Creo sticks. So Saskatchewan is the one province in Canada that doesn't really have an NHL level hockey team. So I didn't really grow up with hockey at all. We watched football, but the truth is that I'm not a sports person at all, and I watch neither and have no favorite team. I'm sorry.
So
I fail as a Canadian.
We're having a slight problem with technical issues at the moment. So I'm just seeing if I can resolve that now.
Did you restart the game completely, or did you just start again from you did restart completely, didn't you?
Yeah. Let's turn off the VR elements because we're not using any of the VR headset and see if that helps us.
And Sam is in the process of grabbing our technical director.
Not a problem.
Alleged Man. Originally, when I came on board, they were imagining that the story would involve a violinist, but I convinced them to go with cello instead because I feel like it's got a broader range of emotion, and it can go really dark as well. And so we really wanted a solo instrument that could tell an emotional story, and I'm a big fan of the cello. I think strings are just beautiful, and the cello is my favorite of the string instruments.
I happen to agree with Beatrix. We also wanted an instrument that would like have presence and show off and be big enough to do stuff with. We're like, it could be a violin, but you won't always notice it in the same way. Oh, is Will back?
I am indeed. I'm just messing the settings to try and get the chugging down a little bit.
Yeah, I asked our chief tech person what to do, and he says if it keeps doing this, just quit again and come back. I'm so sorry. Like, quit the whole game and come back.
No worry.
Turn it off and on again.
Then I'll hop on a bike, and we will continue this adventure.
Alrighty. And Beatrix and I now have scotch.
Yes, we have scotch.
You got scotch, I got tea. What time is it over there?
6-ish?
Alleged Man, we actually did hire a violin to play accompanying for the quartet, and her name is Ariel Swan, and I discovered her quite by accident by going to a concert to meet a friend and ending up in the wrong concert. And she was on stage and she was magnificent, so I went up to her afterwards and I gave her my info, and she came in and recorded with us, and she was just fantastic.
I don't think I knew that. I thought we knew her through the violinist?
The violinist, Ariel Swan.
Oh, that's so cool, because the cellist was a friend of a game dev. Oh, it's a
She's
sister of a game dev?
She's a sister of the game dev.
So funny.
Of another game dev.
Yep.
Wow.
But no, I didn't know the violin story. That's so cool.
I know, it was another serendipitous moment in this game.
Even I'm learning things about our game dev.
Did you inform the cellist in question that the content that was going to be going on when they signed up to do the music?
I don't know if we gave her spoilers.
I don't know. I don't think you dealt with her. I don't know.
I really don't. No, I did tell her. I must have, because there's moments where I really need her to get emotional.
Okay.
So I probably did tell her. Yeah.
Oh, and Will, I'm going to be helpful/unhelpful and tell you that when you get out of this corridor, go left.
Okie dokie dokie.
Cool. It's going to save us all some time here. And then it's linear, I swear.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. So,
for anyone who's interested, I'm drinking a Bal Blair 99, I think, and Beatrix here has a Highland Park, like, special edition, it's like Smuggler's something or other kind of thing.
That's wonderful.
oh,
It's
nice.
really smoky. Mine's, let me see. Mine's really sweet and caramel, hard caramel. Ooh, I think that's been sherry casked. Oh! Sorry. Oh,
You
no,
know
maybe
your
it's
Scotch.
bourbon. So I almost, I was with a guy who was studying Scotch for the past 2 years, and I almost moved to Scotland. So while we're no longer together, I learned a lot.
And so long as you come away with something, it's always worth it.
Yeah, better taste in whiskey and a few better bottles.
And it rhymes with moose. If you're a game dev, you can come join us at the gameplay space, because the Whiskey Club is open to all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
We're in a building with how many indie devs are in this space?
There's about 70 people right now, so
Woo!
it's like a co-working space for indie devs, and it's the best.
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
We've been here for 3 years. It's the best.
That sounds awesome. I'm still learning
And then
whiskies.
yeah.
I'm still a noob when it comes to them, I'm afraid.
It's okay. There's plenty of time to learn, and so many different whiskeys. So wonderful. Whiskey.
Whiskey, offsetting the realities of indie dev since it was ever made.
Oh, Indy Kylo, fun fact, if you know
Mhm.
the game Darwin Project, I am the voice of the robot announcer in
What?
the game. Yeah, that's
No
me.
way!
Yeah. They're our neighbors. They used to be in gameplay space, now they're upstairs.
I have a voice credit with Ultimate Chicken Horse as well. I'm the lizard.
I didn't realize we were dealing with, famous indie devs. Now this is a game changer. No.
I've been in E3. I was in the.
I think we should address Kestrel North's question. When you say little bears, are you speaking about children?
Yes. Kestrel's oldest / youngest is Little Bear.
Aww.
Okay. How old are we talking about?
I don't know how old Little Bear is. Hopefully Kestrel will fill us in. She's officially the Little Bear is officially the pirate queen of our stream.
So sweet. And alleged man, sorry about all the alcohol talk, Ben, if you can't drink, but you know.
If we're talking about like under 12 though, I would say that you don't want to go too much further in watching the live stream.
Yeah, I mean, 9 is an interesting age. It certainly be used to spark conversations. I think if you watch it and decide, that's probably up to you.
The next few scenes are okay. We can let you know, like when you should be tuning out.
Like if you're watching with your child now, I would say like, yeah, you've got a little bit longer, but like probably, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. Depending on how fast or slow we'll play.
Yeah, I think 20-30 minutes is a really good estimate.
Now I get it. We're basically playing the spiritual successor to Matt Hoffman's BMX experience. I should have known. I should have known.
You caught us.
Yep, you're rumbled. You're rumbled, fans of Matt Hoffman. Was it Matt Hoffman? I can't remember. I only know him as the knock-up. There's the not Tony Hawk's guy.
The bike went fully T. I love that.
Ooh, here, let's trade scotches, Beatrix.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Sorry, we're just torturing everyone.
I
try.
I might have to do the full quit and return. We're suffering a lot of chunks, a lot of chunking right now, and I want to show this game at its best.
Yeah, well, now you've gotten through the bike scene, you'll pop right back here, I think. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be easier. Popping a lot of chunks. That's hilarious. Oh man, why don't we describe our game that way?
It's chunking.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm responding to bugs on Twitter. I'm like, oh yeah, so 4 versions been popping a lot of chunks, man. Feel really we're gonna patch that bike right up.
You are welcome. Like I said, I'm not even charging today. Like, there's no consultation fee, no nothing. Free.
Yeah, I've been watching streamers and it's been like, oh good, free bug testing. Thanks everyone.
Rhymes with Moose, what do you do? Are you looking at working in game dev?
Da, 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 da. Fun fact, my mother won Jeopardy. Da, da, da.
Your other credit is you're actually the soundtrack from Jeopardy.
That's me too. How did you know?
I'm just that good.
Wow. She didn't win though. That's what everyone asked. So did she win? No. She did really well though. No one got the final Jeopardy question.
Do you know what it was?
Yes, I was there.
Oh, cool.
I watched the filming live. I know. My mom's like, your back, because of course she is. I'm like, stop, Mom, stop. God, stop embarrassing me in front of Alex Trebek, Mom.
Okay, we are back.
I hope it stops chunking. Chunking? I don't know how to do it.
It has stopped chunking, and it's very happy now.
Oh, so glad.
There we go. Because this game is gorgeous, and I just wanted to make sure we weren't... Yeah, there we go.
The answer is 42.
I appreciate that.
Nobody knows the question.
Yeah.
Well, no, if the question was 42, then the answer would be...
when is Alex Trebek?
Oh, boy, I've confused myself.
Right.
He is getting up there, man. He's been doing that gig for a long time.
I kind of assume that, much like the Queen of England, it's just going to be one of those things where, you know, he's just going to be around forever. Maybe he'll change his name. Maybe he'll get a different job, but he'll always be the Trebek.
Yeah, I feel like the day that the news breaks, you know, like, it's just like Alex Trebek found X, you know, with Y, and you're just going to be like, how can Alex Trebek not be in this world? It's like an impossibility.
My response will be, no, he's still there. This is a cover-up.
This is an Elvis situation.
Yeah.
This is the Tupac thing.
Trebek's not gone. He's just gone home.
Oh, my heart.
Who puts the empty bottles back in the fridge, you monster?
I think the fridge is empty.
I think you're just closing the fridge.
Yeah, you're just closing.
I'm just like, nope, not going to deal with that today.
Yeah, I feel like I have bigger fish to fry. I'm going to, like, not look at this.
Rhymes with Moose. That's awesome. That's a really, really good combo, actually. Merdad, our second programmer, has the same combination.
He's does programming, has a master's in computer science, but he's really into design. We're gonna play a D&D campaign with him starting this weekend, actually.
Yeah.
And he's been putting so much energy into that design and like DMing. It's ridiculous.
And he's been working on his own passion projects for years.
It's true. Yeah, no, he was doing indie games before he came to us too. So yeah, I mean, just working on these things as much as you can really pay off.
God damn it, Dr. Sexy. If you could stop being sexy for 5 minutes, you would see that this patient is clearly inside out. What are you gonna do about it? Don't look at me with your smoldering eyes and your hot face. No, you're not talking me out of this. We're gonna save this patient. I'm gonna save him. If I have to, Dr. Sexy, I'll do it myself. No, don't see me out.
Oh, hey, look, a cameo! Rami, my lovely co-founder slash tech guy, just came in to make sure everything worked out with the chugging.
Yay, we are chugless.
Say hi, Rami.
Hello.
Hey, hello! How goes it?
This is Rami Dexani. He's our CTO or whatever, chief programming guy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't put up with any of our bullshit. And he's really good at what he does. And every single like crazy transition you see, that was this guy.
Yep. Yeah, the core mechanics of the game
Mhm.
came from that brain.
Yeah, Rami did all the
Well, it's certainly phenomenal, and the transition elements are incredible. So thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in the hospital again.
Here we are.
Yeah.
To Koosh Planet 420. Also, I'm not going to guess your hobbies and pastimes, but I would assume this game is very for you. Was asking, what is this game about? Well, we've had a few people that have joined us over the last couple hours. I'm going to steal the line then from earlier, which is the best way that I can describe Anamorphine is the video game adaptation of Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. And it's gorgeous and surreal and brilliant. And yeah, I'm running out of good words. Big words for good.
Beatrix just admitted to me that she's never seen Eternal Sunshine of the Mind. I'm going to shame her in public now. Anyway, to be fair, I hadn't seen it since I was like 17, and then it was on a plane when I was coming back from a conference this year, and I was like, oh, I should really watch this. And I was like, oh yeah, still stands up.
That seems like the worst plane film.
Sorry?
That seems like the worst plane film. You end up like, quietly sobbing in a seat next to someone.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, and then not as bad as when I was watching Queer Eye, though. I was really crying. But actually, and then of course the flight ended before the movie, so I had to like go home, download it, and watch like the final 5 minutes.
Oh no!
Yeah. No spoilers.
It didn't say anything. I'm just saying it's annoying when the plane stops and you're not done with your movie.
Oh, I have like 3 unfinished movies because of that.
Exactly. It happened to me when I watched Arrival as well on the plane. I've got to stop watching things on the plane.
Arrival was so good in theaters.
So good.
Favorite last year for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really
So I'm guessing
amazing sound, and I love sci-fi.
I do like.
And I thought it was a really, really, really solid sci-fi.
That's fair. Ooh, what's Will doing?
So that's the friend. Those are possibly the parents, and this little. All right, I'm going to say it. This little shit in the chair playing with the phone. Get out of my damn chair, child! All right. We noticed the hair's at kind of a midway. It's not quite the fade we saw in one of the clearly low points earlier, and it's not quite the bright shining we've seen from before. So, yeah.
Yeah, rhymes with moose. I'm with you. So good. I could just keep talking about it, but I won't.
They're talking about Arrival. But yeah, I'm curious what's gonna happen next in the scene. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Oh, if anyone who's broken a bone is gonna know, that's a. Oh.
Right. I want to grow from that hair. I want to be the girl with that hair.
Just minus the
Who
broken
designed
bones.
Oh, yes, sorry, alleged man. Our artistic creative director, Mo, designed the hair. He sort of threw it in near the end, too. Hair to change color, where I was like, really? Fine, do whatever you want. And then, like, everyone did it. So, go Mo. As usual, his artistic vision is above and beyond.
It's a non-patronizing way of showing us her emotional state. And
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like you're being like, look over here, look, she's clearly depressed about a thing.
I'm glad you feel that way. I was worried it was a little bright. But I'm always worried. It's like my job.
Yeah. Get your feet off my bloody box, you little shite. That's my stuff. Stop playing feckin'. He's not even turned on. This kid's a lost cause. So can we send him back? Panda face gets me. Okay. Oh. We've just hit the skipping record.
Ah, yes. Oh, that record player. We did a lot with that.
I've just fixed that, so I'm having a little look around. As the cello room gets darker and darker. Mac and cheese and brownies. Oh man,
Those aren't brownies. Those are Nanaimo bars.
that's not a real thing.
It's Canadian, and it really is. I'm not just saying that.
They're so good. Oh my god, have you never had a Nanaimo bar?
No.
No one has.
Oh,
Beatrix, no one's ever had an
they're the
Nanaimo bar outside of
best.
Canada.
they're like my favorite potluck dessert.
Oh, Alleged Man says the kids playing Pokemon Go. Actually, yeah, in the biking scene, the first one on the mountain, we had a whole bunch of people playing Pokemon Go. Because when we were riding this, it was like at the height
It
of
was the
Pokemon
thing,
Go.
Yeah.
Why did we do that?
Oh, it's not gone. It was never on the screen, but that was the implication.
Ah.
But they're still there, right?
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah,
And like their
yeah.
little crowd.
Now you know.
Now you know the rest of the story.
It's Nanaimo. It's spelled like the place in BC. How do you spell Nanaimo? Nanaimo, I believe.
It's on Vancouver Island,
Yeah.
right? No, isn't
No,
it? Nanaimo's
it's-
north of Vancouver.
Oh!
It's in BC. Yeah.
Jesus.
We
Did
got
it
him
again.
We got him again.
Rams with moose, get them to make them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you buy so much as something that friends bring to potlucks. Well, you can buy
You
them.
can buy them. That's where you
The
are.
best ones are homemade.
See,
No, it's not peanut. I have no idea what it's.
the thing
it's
is,
so rich.
so I'm just going to be an annoying American and say that they look better than they taste, but I didn't grow up.
I am not involved in this. You know, I'm a Brit living in the States. Like I am.
Like, I want them to taste like a Kit Kat and like
Oh,
have
no.
the texture of a Kit Kat, and like that's not what's
No, they're
happening.
nothing at all like that.
No, exactly.
The middle
Oh, sorry,
yellow
yeah, I
layer
mean-
is kind of buttery, and then the bottom layer, I think it might involve coconut, and it's very chocolatey.
I meant a Twix. That's what I meant. I didn't mean a Kit Kat.
Yeah, there's no caramel involved.
Yeah, that's why I'm always sad. But I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. You have to go into it without having any expectations, guys. That's what you got to do.
Like most good snacks. Okay. So the glow is still continuing at very least, so that's not terrible. The kid's
Left
pissed.
Twix or right Twix.
The kid's finally pissed off. Oh, he'd never leave. Get out of my house, you freaking child. Okay.
A light butter. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've never actually attempted to make them.
Ah.
Baking is not my forte.
See, you baked 2 cakes for your birthday and they were delicious.
Thank you. My grandmother gave me telephone support.
It was so good. It was a tart, right? It was a tart.
There was the tart
bundt cake.
and the bundt cake, yeah.
See, Beatrix can cook. She's just being modest.
Okay. The sound is going again. We got another. Oh, and some of the boxes that were in the cello room have been cleared out. So that's cool. I was worried the cello room was just going to start becoming a sad little storage cupboard. I should probably do the dishes though. This is getting a bit rank. Should probably do that. I'll do it later. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So we love you. We're gonna start chatting less because we think we should let you focus on the next little bits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it one of
This is
those?
one of my favorite areas of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lot of pills. That's a lot of pills. Oh. This is like the same apprehension one gets in a horror game, knowing that things are about to go down, but with your feels on the line.
Instead of your life.
Yeah. I guess we're trying to repair the smashed up bike. Okay. A lot of pills. But a banana, so balancing it out. Part of a balanced, nutritious breakfast of,
Yeah, it's important. You gotta
potassium.
pad that stomach.
Fruit,
Taking some pills.
crap tons of opiates. just
Not
so
yet.
much.
Go to Portugal. It's all legal. Sorry, technically those are all legal medications. I'm just being silly.
Yeah.
Opiates in general, though, it's a mixed bag.
I mean,
Not that we're implying opiate dependence, to be fair. It's just, she did break her arm. It hurts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's, from the looks of it, she snapped one part of it and fractured the palm. I fractured my ankle, and that was a combination of agony and bad times.
A combination of agony and bad times.
Yeah, it wasn't just one or the other.
No, I mean, that would be a interlocking system. Yes.
Well, you have some personal connection to this story then.
And it's her articulate hand is the one that's been cracked. She's clearly wincing.
Good eye.
This is not going to go well. You okay, honey? Do you need anything? Just gonna go into the kitchen now. Just gonna make Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a cup of tea, love? I'm just gonna. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Will?
Have you considered a DLC for this where all the emotional exposition is delivered by emotionally stunted English people? Because I think there's a real market for that.
Just overlays everything. Oi! Oi!
Do you want a cuppa?
Oi! I think that's next patch.
$4 DLC, done.
We're gonna make all our money.
Yeah. Voice packs.
Oh boy.
Yes, once again, I am using humor to offset.
Thank you, Zara Ganos. That was really important. That we really wanted to use the music to tell the story as much as possible.
And Alleged Man wanted to say a massive thank you to you all for coming on and chatting.
Oh, thanks, Alleged Man. It was nice to chat with you. Bye.
So I am, in Alleged Man's questions, we are going to be doing Monster Hunter World later today, but this deserves not only our attention but our focus for now. So yeah.
Aw,
Monster Hunter is for later.
Numpty Will voice narration. Nice. We'll talk about it later, Will.
Oh, that's clever. The bathtub is all like undeveloped photos and things like that.
Thank you.
Because it would be very easy for... Yeah. The unsettlingness of that, it's not horrific, but it means that there can't be any misconstrued... This isn't a happy scene. Yes, she's in the tub with a bottle of wine, but this isn't a good moment. And I think that's very, very well done.
Thank you.
Alright, so she got out the violin. Cello's away. Oh, this stuff's getting packed up in here. Panda face watches ever onward.
The oracle of the panda of Delphi strikes again.
Yeah. Also, certain elements of the world are starting to get a little edgy, a little weird.
I don't know what you're talking about, Will.
There's that fucking Darwin Project voice right there.
One player remaining.
Yeah, so the fridge and a few of the other like base elements now have slightly skewed, slightly warped geometry, which is, yeah. Also, Rorschach painting keeps changing, and I can't believe I only just realised.
I don't know what you're talking about, Will. Just your perception of the blot, Will.
No wonder you've been so keen to jump on stream with this.
To jump on what, sorry?
To jump on this stream, just to mess with me. And I'm entirely... Oh!
What you're talking about, Will?
What the shit? Sorry, forgive my language.
You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, wait, not you're welcome. You're excused.
Hair's still glowing a little bit, so it's not too bad.
Mm.
Lot of letters piling up.
Mm.
Well, that's bad. Oh, did anyone forget to change the light bulb? It's leaking again. Our light bill is going to be ridiculous this month.
That's more from Mo. Mo and his creatures and his things.
Yeah. This is getting bad and worse. The area is kind of warping and twisting. The obvious deformation of the flat plus, yeah, the little subtleties. Again, what I was saying earlier about, you're using horror techniques to deliver emotional elements, and yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we really didn't want to make a horror game, but I'd like to say that we're cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, kind of part of the same gene pool, but like went in a different direction.
And she's slinking ever downwards into the water.
It's like a corgi and a wiener dog. Or the corgi.
As someone who is officially 3 corgis in a trench coat, I respect that. I'm just really dedicated to the bit. Oh, let's just get some serious. Now, okay, the PT vibes are coming through thick and fast now.
Yes.
If there is a weird fetus in the sink, so help me. So help me, I will scream.
God. Oh, to be fair, I was unable to actually play PT. I watched a playthrough, and like, my goodness, I didn't need to see that.
Yeah, I could live my whole life without that moment.
Right? Yeah, that game was a trip. I mean, our game's a trip, but like, pooh, that game was a trip.
Yeah.
It's so hard to play.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't play it. Oh, I can't do horror. Like, this is the other reason we didn't make Hell no, we're not making a horror. Nuts, I can't do that. I'm a huge scaredy cat over here. When we played Layers of Fear, I screamed like 3 times.
It's true. At least.
I don't want to alarm anybody, but a lamp has broken through the window and is currently shedding snow in the bedroom. We should probably see to that. We should probably handle that. Is that a Canadian thing? Is that where the snow comes from? Is it lamps?
It's a different country, Will. Things are just different up here.
I can tell. Alright, so we fixed the lights, but we didn't fix the bloody snow.
Oh, things are complicated right now.
Oh, whoa. Alright, so we're doing this. Okay. That's a giant floating bike helmet.
I feel bad laughing, but yeah.
Don't. If you're enjoying it, that means everyone else is.
Having a great time.
Yup.
Scotch helps, but no, I mean, it'd be a great time anyway.
Person type thing was saying that this looks fascinating. They feel quite privileged to be watching it with the clearly very sassy, imaginative, intelligent developers here too, who are enjoying, in the same way that you all have enjoyed torturing me on previous games, they're enjoying watching my experiences. And you both have put so much of your time and life into this game. If the very least that I can do for you is show this off and let you enjoy me getting messed up by it, then I feel I've done my job.
I am so happy.
It's been quite a pleasure.
Thank you so much for doing this with us. This is just, I hope I never get sick of watching this, because it makes me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can see all the flaws too, but watching people play is just a pure pleasure.
So the tub is just wine bottles now. We're keeping wine bottles in the cabinet. We're just... The ink block painting's flown away. It's...
Your girlfriend is transformed to 3 bottles of wine. Thanks, Indigo.
I will love my wine girlfriend and you will not judge me.
In a trench coat.
In a trench coat.
Oh, Slum Number 26. This is getting Lovecraftian. The D&D game we're going to play on the weekend.
Yeah.
Apparently it's going to be Lovecraftian. We're getting nervous. I'd say excited, but nervous is maybe more.
We'll be in for a trip.
It's going to be weird. Yeah, I want a screenshot. person type things. Compliment. It's so nice. Ooh, maybe more like Inception. Whoa, no one's actually said that to us yet, but like...
Seriously?
Weirdly, I know.
What?
Like,
I didn't say it because I thought it would be gauche. I thought it would be the thing that everyone has said, like, oh, it looks like Inception!
Well, ever since we launched, no one has said it, and it's funny because, I mean, for years we've been like at one point we tried to describe the game to someone, and then we were like, oh no, wait, are we just making Inception? Whoops.
Gotta dream a little bigger, darling.
But then people wouldn't, like, one of our business friends was like, no, you can't liken it to Inception. Inception was too mainstream. I'm like, but it's the same mechanic, kind of. I mean, it's not exactly, but
Well, there's definitely a relationship.
there's similarities. So
So-
it was funny. We were like, it's like Inception, but we didn't say that very often because we didn't want to the wrong idea either.
Okay, so firstly, the bike is now a horrific, like Geiger-esque bone monster. The
Oh, thank
crash
you.
helmet is following me around the room with its singular horrific eye.
Thanks. Yeah,
Why would you do this?
that was Mo.
Yeah, that was
Fine,
actually one
Mo.
of the early from Mo. He
This-
was really into it.
Like, if you guys want a real sneak peek, you can go to like the beginning of our blog, and you will see like prototype ideas of
Yeah,
this.
That's true.
They're called the Guild Creatures.
Mm.
I'm sorry, that's sort of giving you with a metaphor, but yeah.
Nope, 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 nope.
Are you sure this isn't horror? Cousins.
It's not.
Horror cousins.
Similar.
Okay, but if I became a wizard, I think my cool kid portal move would be to bring a bunch of like empty bottles together and use that to open a portal. That would be cool.
The bottles want to be your friend.
Friend.
Thanks, Dumpasaurus.
Oh, Jesus! What?
Sorry.
She slammed the door out of reality. She didn't have to talk to me. That's not fair. I can't do that yet. Am I meant to be able to do that? Do I unlock that later? Was I meant to be jungling when I was emotionally investing? And her hair is getting consistently darker. Let's see if we can... Hey, so... Ah! Feck!
I feel so bad laughing.
God darn it!
Is this how people who make horror games feel when like their jump scares get people? Do you think they just
Probably.
laugh a lot?
Quite possibly.
I think part of it, Sam, is also that we're not hearing it,
Oh,
and
true.
so it's easier to make light of it because right now they're hearing like.
I mean, it's...
A little.
Oh,
I don't want it
well,
to. Let us know if there's feedback from us listening to the sound.
I was going to say that...
Hear ourselves. Nope, never mind. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, we're watching without hearing any sound because otherwise we'll end up with weird feedback.
Yep. The panda is now a cello. Oh yeah, the Rorschach blot.
Someone
I
noticed.
don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, the door slamming thing, while a very obvious metaphor, is so good. And it wouldn't really work in another medium as well. Because as a gamer, your natural reaction is to go to the point of interest and interact with it. The door slam
Yeah.
removes it from you and then moves it across. It's a representation of someone who does not want to engage, no matter, even though things are bad, even though you need to.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and maybe they should be engaging, but they can't, or they won't, or like they just don't have the ability at that moment. And yeah, I mean, it's a very clear metaphor that maybe has a lot of different reasons behind it.
But boy, does it work.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, you know what this situation requires? More gigantic beer bottle cycling. Let's do that.
Let's.
It's time to play some crazy taxi. Are you ready? Here we go.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. No,
Non-copyright infringing.
my bad.
Non-copyright infringing Offspring track knockoff. Right, if anyone knows where the other bike is parked, it's on that entire mountain.
Oh, good, you noticed.
I mean, I'm glad you mentioned it because it's subtle. I might have missed it. No. Yeah, this new Sonic reboot is really gritty. No matter how fast he ran, he couldn't unround his feelings.
Oh god. I used to pretend to be Sonic in the schoolyard. It's my favorite. I'm a huge Sonic fan. Sorry, side note.
It's okay, we were all there.
Ah.
Okay, sad confession. Tails' full name being a pun on miles per hour. Only just got that like a month ago.
Wait, what?
Because his name
It
is
is?
Tails miles p hour. Miles power. Miles per hour.
Oh, how did I never see that?
I know!
Nuts!
I'm 32!
Ah, I'm 31. It took us this long.
Yep. This is rad.
Ooh.
Catch me! Catch me! No, falling! No, we're not. Okay. Oh, I'm back at home.
Oh, Spiller 194. Like, he's just saying it's interesting that the doors stay. It's a powerful reminder of the physical places that you've been unable to interact. It's just one more place in the home where you failed. I'm like, oh.
Yup. I told you my lot got it.
You've got such a good chat. I'm amazed.
They are excellent people. Okay, so having a look at the dates. So those are the same dates that were circled before.
Oh my god, Squirtle's a squirrel turtle.
What?
Mind blown. That's what Night Valian 28 just revealed to us that I am. Whoa.
Because it's
Squirtle.
got the tail, of course.
True, I never thought about it. Wow.
I always assumed because it was, like a water gun, like a squirt gun. And a
Right,
turtle.
exactly. They squirt or whatever. But yeah, wow. Squirrel turtle.
I always thought it was just because, squirting water.
Wow. Well, we were off base. I can tell you that now.
Indeed. So, sorry to interrupt. As we've just gotten a host from my lovely friends over at Fremily. For those of you that have just jumped on in, we are playing through Anamorphine, which is, oh boy, this is an emotional roller coaster. We've been using the shorthand of, it's basically Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, the game. And, so if you'd like to come on over and join us, I have two of the lovely developers from Artifact 5 chatting with me on Discord as we're going through this. And they are delighting in how much this game is messing with me. So, yeah, it's not a horror.
I'm going to try to tone down the glee.
It's fine. But, yeah, I think anyone who has been in a long-term relationship or has had those kind of hardships, those barriers to interact with someone when things are bad feel like a physical wall. Like, people use it a lot in arty, flowery language, but, when you go through it, it is there. Mm. And to have that represented in game, probably far better than, a terrible daytime TV drama about the same topic.
We appreciate that, Will. Thank you.
Congratulations, you are better than daytime telly. You can.
The best praise we've received yet.
I want to be on your accolades trailer with that quote.
Better than daytime telly.
We'll add that to our release trailer.
It has to say telly, not television.
Oh yeah, it has to say
important.
telly. The distinction is strong.
It's true. Oh, being happy and sad at the same time is something Will has gotten down pat. Yeah, he's good at this. It's true. Oh, Spiller 194 must have been on the other side of that door, but I'm not a stranger to this one. It's both sides suck.
Yeah.
They really both have their downsides. I mean, when you're experiencing something that dark and you can't reach out to the people around you, I mean, I think that's a really horrible place to be.
Yeah.
But loving someone who's going through that and you can't reach them, I mean, that's more my side of the door that I've been on, and that was a lot of where the design of this did come from. I was like, wow, I've loved a lot of people who've been awfully depressed, and finding ways to kind of show that was the challenge, but also, I just thought it was important. I mean, so many people go through this on one side of that door or the other.
Yeah.
So,
and it's not something that you can just always describe. One of the things that I come up against a lot on, I guess, Twitter conversations about subjects like this is the just reach out, just talk to someone, just, if it were that easy, these, the individuals going through stuff like this would. but then communicating the hardship and the empathy that those trying to support said people go through as well is not nothing. No one wins in this. It's not. Yeah. There. Yeah, the difficulties all around are certainly something.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I laud video games as such a wonderful artistic medium is because, right now we're not discussing this, we're experiencing it. And, I can throw my personal experiences. Like a lot of people, I've been on both sides of it, and it's certainly shaped me as a person. But I can tell you the story of how these things happen, but what I can't do is I can't show how it felt to go through those on either side. Games can do that. That's incredibly powerful.
That was really something that we were aiming towards with this game, is just finding a way to translate this experience for new people to have, and both for people for whom it resonates and for people who have maybe not been there, for to create empathy and to create understanding.
I mean, I think one of the hardest things in this life is to be known and to be seen. And when you can't reach out and have yourself be seen, when you can't understand what someone else is going through, I mean, it's really horrible. But it's also one of the tenets of the human condition. But it gets a lot worse when you're going through something like depression, or anything like that. So we really wanted to put this into, not into words, into visuals. Most people put it into words.
Into an experience that can be had by it.
Because we're not just doing something so simple and mundane as watching the story of a person going through this. This is our experience. Now I'm going to offset the real, genuine, emotional stuff going by saying we've been reintroduced to Dr. Sexy. The cast is off, but not the cast of his heart.
I think he has bare feet too. I mean,
Does he?
Oh, that doctor.
He's a sexy rebel. Although, looking at our little memory halls that we have here, it seems we might have stolen Dr. Sexy's shoes. So that's why he's barefoot.
So I'd like to pop in here now and say, if you still have children, and for anyone who doesn't want spoilers, this is probably the time to peace out.
Yeah.
Major spoilers ahead.
Absolutely.
So I'll just chew on the end of this, have a sip of coffee and tea, talk to our lovely guest for a second. But yes, please consider this the you have been warned, content warning, spoiler warning, stop.
Yeah, it really is like the 5-minute warning.
Yeah.
I still feel that if you watch this through, if you watch us going through this today, I would still recommend picking up a copy for yourself.
Yes, please. Not gonna argue.
If you have a... If you have a VR setup, this does work with both Oculus and Vive?
Correct. Especially after our patch tomorrow. Much better on Vive.
So, there's more than one way to experience this, and as with a lot of these, it can seem as if just watching a playthrough of it is going to give the same experience, but when you do it yourself, when you find these things, and you will find things that I missed, it is entirely worth your time. So yeah.
Kestrel North, since you just popped back in, we just gave the probably no children ahead and spoiler alert warning.
Yeah, if you want to play it on your own and not have it spoiled, now's the time to peace out. But yeah, otherwise, I would say that watching the game is great. Playing it yourself is always a different experience.
Yeah.
I will encourage that.
Indeed. I mean, I'm going for the kind of the hyperbole examples, but the Beginner's Guide, Doki Doki Literature Club, hell, Spec Ops: The Line. You can watch someone play those, but to do it yourself, just Monica.
Absolutely. And Speller 194, we'll miss you.
Okay, Speller, it's always lovely to see you, yo. Chiat was saying Subnautica fits that too.
I haven't played it. I'm so bad.
I am terrified of open water and sharks, and Thor...
me too.
So Thor is an indie dev who runs Pirate Software. They're making Heartbound. And dude was insisting that I had to play this. And I'm like, nah, not touching it. So he gifted it me on Steam, because he knows. He does that. He's got enough emotional leverage to make me play it. So I did. And it wasn't just a good survival game. It was an emotional experience, and something that has...
I've heard some really good things about it, yeah.
If you haven't... Isocrid, you might be able to link the clip in chat if you want to give it a go. But yeah, I would go... It's not a great survival game. It's an incredible narrative game with amazing survival base building mechanics. Like, we built a submarine and...
Bye, Spiller.
Alright, we'll see you in 7 hours! Yeah, so I wholeheartedly recommend it, because the ways in which they deliver their story, holy crud. And yeah, by the end of it, I had to say goodbye to my cuddlefish child, and that was emotional. Okay, so basically, pick up a copy of Subnautica, play it, and love it.
Yes,
I'll say no more, and I believe... Okay, so everybody, you've had your warning, so it will be spoilers and possibly some very heavy content from here on in, so if you need to nope out, don't worry about saying goodbye, just Alt-Tab, come on back, but yeah, you have been warned. It will be non-child friendly from here, and we are going to be dealing with some pretty heavy themes. See, I do the good host thing every now and then.
So good, Will. You're so good.
Can I get that as a sound effect?
Hey, I will do whatever. Spent so much time streaming our game. I could do some VO for you.
Well,
and Emma, sorry, Beatrix can do the recording. She's really good at the stuff.
It's been known to happen.
Oh God, we've done so many. There's trailers out there of me like doing voiceovers over like videos of Anamorphine. If you guys want to go hear my voice more, I don't know why you would, but I mean I do. It's great, but like if you play the game, that's enough.
Oh.
I'm not in love with the sound of my voice. What are you talking about, Beatrix?
Javier says you do have a lovely voice, so.
Aww, my compliment fishing worked.
Got in a big one! Oh!
Thanks, Javier Fed.
Oh. Still struggling. It's okay. You can do this.
We believe in you, Will.
So we're back at the lovely, the glowing forest.
We have returned.
Kestrel says, never play a cello while drunk, especially if you've got a passenger. I really want that on a poster. Don't drink a cello. Right, I got the joke there eventually. Only took 8 tries.
Compliment Cap, you're the second person on the stream to tell me I should do an audiobook. I'm beginning to think I should record an audiobook. I would totally do that.
Yeah.
How do I get that job? TBD.
I knew people in Vancouver.
Oh, guys. I've got 4 sales already.
Yay!
Something historical. Interesting.
No Man's Sky.
Because games. Basically.
It's cello, okay.
On Steam, one of the first, it's like, if you like this, you'll like No Man's Sky. And then it lists other walking, but I'm like, really? Like, what? I mean, it's really not like No Man's Sky.
It might be a robot finding, like, because we are compared to it visual stuff.
It's just funny.
Yeah, the Steam algorithm it's a mess. It's a mess. I am happy if more people find and play your game. I don't think No Man's Sky needs any more support.
Kestrel North. The flower looks fine. Let's climb inside. Definitely.
Yeah. Also, the plant died this time when it bloomed. I just want you all to know that. Or at least it already appeared like it did.
Yeah, this scene's not looking so healthy these days, eh?
No. I liked it better before!
I personally love the music in this scene. This is one of my favorite tracks in the game, though.
It's
And just so you
gorgeous.
guys know, you can buy the soundtrack on Steam.
Oh, yes. I can link it, but not without breaking the audio, so...
Yeah, don't break anything, please.
The other thing is, person type thing was saying, hands up! Alright, who knew that the cello and the aurora borealis are my favourite things? Sorceresses! Sorcerai!
Sorcerers, we'll take it. It's ominous. Why is the ground breathing? Artistic license.
Why isn't it breathing elsewhere, is the question.
Right? Why doesn't Earth breathe?
It does.
It's not
You
happening.
just have to be on mushrooms. Yeah.
Oh, I miss mushrooms.
Feed Miss... Wait, hang on, what?
Fun fact, our studio is more into mushrooms than LSD. Oh, I'm sure none of you guessed that.
I am so glad I got to do this stream with you both. This is fun.
Sometimes I forget these things will be saved for later.
It's alright.
That's okay.
I've got a civilian channel. The VODs disappear after 7 days.
Oh, it's like the Snapchat of Twitch.
Yep. Come on, you can do it, Plant. We believe in you. Grow up healthy like... Oh.
To be fair, I don't know that any of us have actually started making this game.
I don't think we have.
No, we
No.
talk.
We shared stories. We have
Mhm.
talked about it.
We
Yeah.
talked about it, but like, I think as I like to say that we're the Pink Floyd of games. Like, it's great listened to, maybe under the influence, but actually making it, you couldn't really do it high.
Ah, yes.
It's too complicated.
The idea of making a game on psychotropics, no thank you.
No,
Thank
exactly.
you.
It would be a total mess. It's way too technical and artistic a
Oh, that
medium.
would be. Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
Perfectly almost legal marijuana. Scotch may have been involved, though.
Mm, that's true.
We couldn't possibly comment.
Our artistic director, he likes to go and smoke cigars and drink rum and cokes. That was a lot of his nights, actually. So, like, perfectly legal, but, like, very specific to him.
I don't alarm anybody, but we might need to replace our violinist.
Sorry, I shouldn't giggle.
Our violinist
You're too
might
funny,
have
Will,
broken.
This is dark! I love it. Stomposaurus.
Break it, you buy it.
Magesher now on stage.
Yep. It's alright, at least we have our second violinist, so we can at least, oh, nope, you're gone too! Oh dear. Oh dear, yeah, she was exactly like that when I found her. That is what I will tell the police. So the people in the emergency room, sorry, in the hospital room earlier, weren't family. It was her friends / fellow artists. Interesting.
Yes! Oh, good, you got it, yes.
Because I recognise this guy because we hung out with him in that kind of like cute after dinner scene.
Good memory.
And now he is horribly dead. Alright, well it's been good hanging with you, buddy. You gave it a good go there. Also,
So, Cryostick says content warning, this game has violence. So this is a little technical, but when I had to rate the game with the ESRB and with Peggy, it's actually really, really hard to do.
yup.
Because they don't really have categories for this kind of game.
Nope.
And I was like, is it violent? Is it not violent? Like,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So, funny story, I went to Peggy and
Yeah.
I decided I'd play it safe and give it a really high rating. I give it a 16. They're like, you go through it and it spits one out and then they review it. And they came back to me and they're like, no, we're going to rate it 7.
7-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
That's our Peggy rating.
Nice.
Oh my God.
I know. And I was like, okay.
I would not
Your
recommend the average
It's
7-year-old.
your
play this.
ratings.
It's worth pointing out, Peggy is like the ESRB for the UK, just as a
Yes.
heads up.
Exactly.
Peggy!
Or for the EU.
Is it EU?
Stomposaurus. Yeah, it's for the whole EU. I mean, there's some countries within the EU, like Germany, have their own, but it's for the whole EU.
Wow.
And Stomposaurus asked, does it mean the relationships with them have broken? I mean, I couldn't possibly say.
You're doing the voice again.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
I didn't say
that
it was a
voice.
bad thing.
Oh, I hear it now.
Oh, that's eerie. Oh, that's...
Oh, that's eerie. 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 Oh, that's eerie.
Oh, no, oh, come on. Oh, no, why would you do that? Oh. Oh, no. Oh, that's so creepy. In case anyone hasn't noticed, all the mannequins are looking at us forever and all time. We have to go to this little maze, and they're all like, we see you. Like, this is some System Shock 2 levels of unsettling creepiness right here.
Thank you.
I hear that showdown voice kind of playing in the back of my head, you know what I mean? Look at you, hacker. Boy, I sure am glad that everyone is staring at me right now. Oh. Alright. Alright, everybody, this could get a little bit trippy. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Our places to go. And they're all still staring at me. Subsaurus was trying to say, sorry, Will, just imagine them all naked. Oh, wait. Okay, I know I made the joke about this being an emotional reboot of Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's really starting to feel that way right now.
Hello?
Ah!
Hi. Sorry, Beatrix's computer died.
Oh, well,
Sorry.
I'm glad we've got you back. It just...
Yeah, we were like, where'd Will go?
You went really quiet at a point where things were getting really psychologically unsettling. And I was like, okay.
Yes, you know.
And then you both went quiet, and I'm like, oh, this is how I die. That's the point where it turns into a horror.
Quiet if you tried.
Yeah, this area right here, like, Smorg and Ornstein are going to show up, and it turns out to be it's a Dark Souls reimagining.
Oh, thanks.
Get ruffle stomped by a guy with a giant golden hammer for not protecting the psychology of my protecting the psychology of my in-game girlfriend. You're just having so much fun with this, aren't you?
I don't know what you're talking about, Will.
This is the Dark Souls of walking simulators.
Oh my god, we're putting that in the trailer.
This room is actually referencing back to also the very, very first original.
Demo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This is what's Beatrix on the game, basically.
So this
The
was what the
remake.
mindscape looked like before you moved to the more kind of like...
No, a whole other scene. This was before that. This is like the first demo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pre-me and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The columns, the room of columns.
Yeah.
And the shattering. Congrats on making me jump there, by the way.
I'm glad it worked, thanks. I mean, you're welcome. I don't know what to say. Sorry. Too much scotch.
So...
Yeah, we're out of touch.
Aww.
That's the true tragedy of this.
It is, actually. Yes, thank you for recognizing that. We appreciate that. I feel validated.
The struggle is real. I mean, this might be one of those times where, as someone who is not, you know, musically gifted, I might be maybe not projecting, but trying to extrapolate. It's the idea that there is this music that she's trying to reach, this state she's trying to get to, and it's out of reach. It's blocked.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I don't think you have to be. I don't think you have to be a musician to interpret it.
No, not at all. This music was written very much from the heart. I mean, I may have a music background, but very little technical theory was involved in the composition.
Oh, now we've got some crazy 1001 Space Odyssey type bike riding going on here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the first time anyone's referenced that, though. I like it.
Actually, a few people have mentioned it in the feed.
Really?
Yeah. I think I've seen like.
Oh, in this feed?
In this feed,
Oh,
yes.
I hadn't noticed.
The soundscaping effects, I don't know if they're coming across clearly on the stream, but what I'm getting through, coming through my ears, is so unnerving in a very well done way. Again,
Thank you.
These are techniques that I would expect in a horror game, something trying to Indy Kylo is asking if I can do a flip. Can you confirm or deny that there'll be a trick system added to this part of the game later on?
$10 DLC.
$10 DLC. Sick tricks.
This is not a horror game, Chaya. No.
If it turned out it was a horror game and you just spent the whole day telling me it's not a horror game, that would be brilliant. I just wanted to know.
So mean of us.
Thank you, compliment, Cap, for the compliment.
Yeah, Beatrix did an amazing job. Being next to beauty.
You can have that one for free.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
Yeah. Matt Hoffman's opiate trip.
Oh, totally buy this game for a friend. Just make sure it's not going to make things worse.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Totally their thing.
Thank you, Isocrid. That's so kind of you.
Oh, thanks, Isocrid.
Well, I think it has to do with intent, Chaya, because it's unsettling, but it's an emotional story, and we're not playing on fear so much as sadness, I guess you could say.
Or maybe like very everyday fears, like fears about how you feel about your relationship. But it's not meant to be like, oh my god, something's going to jump out at me and scare me. It's more like, oh no, how is my relationship? Which is absolutely a fear, but I wouldn't call it horror.
Yeah.
But we like I've been saying, we're cousins. We're horror's cousin. We look a little similar, but we've got a slightly different gene pool.
I wonder if it's just we don't have the language to discuss this in the gaming space as well as we should. Like, you know, we know how to experience some of the more primary setups. You know, we know how to do, aggression. We know how to do fear. We know how to do exhilaration and empowerment. But subtle things like interpersonal relationships, depression, things that can massively affect you as a human, but are feelings born out of subtlety. Also, caffeine. How goes it? Caffeine,
yes,
you chose
caffeine.
Go for it.
Weird time to enter the stream. Yeah.
This is
and yeah, anyone who really doesn't want spoilers, like, get out now.
This is the spoiler scene.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go look at the fridge for a little bit. A friend of mine did an incredible breakdown of Nathan Drake's fridge for an article, and I think it's one of my favourite things I've read in a long time. Just dissecting how much of a messed up, screwed up person Nathan Drake really is by the contents of his fridge.
I feel like we tried to use food as a metaphor as well. Yes.
Well, the home-baked goodness is gone. All right, everybody. Yeah, Kestrel saying, "Where's the cello?" Well, if you haven't left now, you're with us for the whole hog. So there'll be no more spoiler or content warnings. We're going in. Oh heck! That cello ain't coming back.
He's on Sen. Someone has that weird. That's good.
Isocrid, the tangerine doesn't mean anything on its own, but it was healthy before and rotten now. Then we start to tell stories.
Ah. Did I tell you? I once saw a child playing with a tangerine. The size of a tangerine. My name's Michael Caine. Not a lot of people know that. This is gonna get bad. Still messed up. Oh! I'm trying to see what the differences are between these different scenes, because it's making us... I say it's making us. It's the creation that you have made. Yeah. And that inkblot test is looking significantly more demonic. Oh, heck. Check the horizon, everybody. Oh! Feckin' hell. Oh, okay. Okay. You were not kidding. This was going to be a ride.
Yeah, not so much for kids.
Mm-mm.
And you said Peggy gave it a 7.
I know. I was like, okay, rating agency. I wouldn't have given it a 7.
And we're close to
Is
the...
that Peggy with the fish? Yeah, I mean, I gave them video of all of it. Half-hour video with all of the intense points of the game. And to build. They had access to everything.
I can't help but feel that they watched the video in isolation and didn't consider it as part of an experience, but...
Yeah, I don't know. And caffeine, yes, you did come in at a very strange point in the stream. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry
Oh no,
about that,
little
Crystal
bear,
North.
no! Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. The surrealist flowers. And the start of the kind of off-key cello music in there.
I'm worried about little bear. Oh, good. Oh, okay. All right.
Thankfully,
Glad-
I guess not enough
glad
context
you
for it to
noticed.
be...
Shadow Alpha, that's okay. You missed the spoiler.
Yeah, you missed a big moment.
And that's okay.
Yeah, good. You can go play it yourself. Find out.
Oh. So now we've returned from... Yeah. So that whole section is just crushed. The last thing we have is the broken arm, and then the rest of it is just destroyed. So now we're going to go back. We're going to go right back to the beginning. Which
you got it.
makes some messed up sense. He's going to go back to the happy times. Or whoever. I'm just doing the assumption thing again, and that's got me into trouble in the past.
I think if she'd learned to play the trombone, it would have been a very different.
Wow.
That whole-
described Will.
That whole later section would just be like...
Oh, I love the trombone, but it would have been a very different sound.
Just sad trombone music in the flat, just...
No, what you broken, Will? Fair check. Oh boy.
Oh, so we went back to the beginning. And now we're... yeah, so now we're finding the instruments in the other sections. So we went to the violin in the Christmas section. Didn't need to see the instruments in the first theatre. Oh.
I personally think
Okay.
trombone is epic in jazz.
I love trombone.
Oh, yeah,
I love saxophone. Like, I'm a very big fan of the brass family, wind family, but like brass. But oh yeah, it's not for every occasion.
My brother plays trombone actually.
Oh, nice. Well, next game.
Yeah.
Let's do follow up.
His wife plays French horn, and I wanted her in this, but
I
she's
remember.
Saskatchewan. She plays really good French horn.
It's a shame time and space means something.
Oh, right. Even though time is a human construct.
Sorry, which $10 DLC do we want?
The trombone.
Oh no.
This person wants
I
it.
guess do
I said
not.
Rick wants it to see.
Oh guys, well we're really like, oh, we just saw tragedy. Let's not talk about it.
That is how we do things around here.
I mean, my family's British. I understand.
So we've returned back to... We went back into our... Essentially into our memories. Back into, the crash. Now we're back at the hospital.
More memories.
And we're going to go into a dark and spooky elevator, because apparently that's what we do now.
I mean, sometimes you gotta go through to come out of it. As they say, if you're going through hell, keep going.
Or, as I like to say, every pizza is a personal pizza if you believe in yourself.
Ooh, now I'm hungry. Thanks, Will.
You're welcome. Share and share alike. You guys, you know, subject me to brilliantly mastercrafted, emotionally breaking games, and I make you hungry for pizza. It's also, I love how the geometry is. The geometry is correct but broken here. It's that kind of that looking back at old memories. This is, you know, this is falling asleep. This is a falling asleep drunk on your bed remembering things type. This is.
Good metaphor.
Thank you.
Or situation, yes. Someone call him necromancer. Oh man,
Aww.
not that kind of game.
Well, you know what they say. Necromancy.
Oh.
Raising families right. Get the plant alive.
What do I say to that?
Oh.
I have the range of a trombone.
Dies.
Oh.
So we're really into plants now, apparently. That's our thing. The fruit's back. And we're slowly starting to box up old stuff. I mean, in a weird way, it's kind of representative of a lot of this stuff where you have the shock of it in the initial, and then you almost have like a state of, I don't know, normality, a state of weird numbness for a while after. And, you know, we saw at the beginning of the game the person's life degrading and encroaching as they were just, you know, their world became smaller and smaller as the, you know, as the garbage piled up, as the unsolved things, you know, trapped them in their own room. Whether that's what's coming or whether that's what's happened at this point, it's interesting to see that slow drift away from being okay. So where does it want us to explore next? Isocrid adding was, who was it that said that necromancy is really just dedicated medicine?
But I don't know, but that's funny.
For the doctor that just won't quit, necromancy. We got a good bunch here. Got a good bunch.
You do have a good bunch. I want to
Oh
have
yeah, Apocalyptica. That's what they're called, eh? Apocalyptica. The band that plays Metallica and stuff.
Oh, the cello covers.
Mm-hmm.
They are feckin' phenomenal. Oh, all right. Do we walk the?
They're ominous. It was one of the mechanics that was the original drivers of the game. It was developed from scratch by our technical director Rami Pakistani.
Yeah, he joined us for 1 minute earlier. We were so lucky.
Yeah, he said hello and then he walked back out.
Yeah, he's not much of a talker. Not the most. This is why I'm a talker. I talk for like 3 of us.
That's why you're the producer.
That's why I do the biz dev.
Everyone's got their skills. Damn it! Again with the doors. Oh! It's crazy. Physics bending nonsense. When Stopasaurus is saying she's shutting you out, well, what we're going through here is whoever this individual is, this is them processing. You know, the things that seemed bad at the time now have this huge weight behind them. You know, at the time when it must have felt like that person was just shutting them out, it must have felt terrible, but now they have guilt. You know, that feeling of if I'd been able to get through, maybe. That's a whole lot of something. You can also see that this person's started to kind of clean and fix the place, but just gotten halfway and sort of stopped. There's the panda head.
Antechamber. So we've been asked if we took inspiration from an antechamber and moving the character through the same space differently. Yeah, that actually was one of our original inspirations. I'd say it was a sort of Dear Esther, antechamber, Stanley Parable actually were big influences on us. That kind of surreal, non-Euclidean space kind of game was on the two guys who originally came up with the idea. So yeah, well noted. Not a lot of people have mentioned that since launch.
Very cool. It's interesting because the other examples of people using that, sorry, you used the proper term for it. I was just going to use messing with space and time. Like, we've seen it used for action games very well. Thank you. And we've seen it used for a few other titles, but to deliver emotional impact, this is doing it in a phenomenal manner.
Hmm. How you feeling, Will?
Oh, it's stacking. It's stacking. And it's interesting going back through the elements from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So there was very much more to it than we saw. Whatever the letter was that she just got had some pretty heavy impact.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever it was, it might have been the catalyst there.
Good eye.
Like I said, this lot doesn't keep me around just because I'm audible. Getting us to go through this section multiple times, as it did before, is interesting. Although the phone is freaking me out, a la PT. I just want you to know that. I just want you to know.
That's fine. It's follow your instincts.
Every now and then.
Oh no. Wow. So in that previous section, if I had ignored the phone and explored, would I have seen more? Did I miss a thing by checking the phone first?
Well, we'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. Oh, Jesus! Oh, that made me jump.
Okay?
It just they're coming out of that shot at a weird angle, caught me right off guard. So there's
Cryo sticks. This is actually the only instance of spoken stuff in the game.
Yep.
And not all players will actually ever experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. I mean, the artist in me says that it's that idea that you can speak words all day, every day to a plethora of people, but it's a couple of lines here and there that will stay with you.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Oh.
That's what we decided anyway.
I guess there's the other thing of creating a game like this is that, people may start to infer ideas, feelings, and concepts, meaning from it that may not necessarily have been part of its core intention. And yeah, that is That's something that I think even PBS Idea Channel had a hard time really getting stuck into. Because it's not death of the author, it's sometimes works of art can have more meaning than they're intended. I've also...
Reflective Gamer, I guess you jumped in pretty late, huh?
Yeah, I think Reflective missed a lot of that. But also that last shot of that was our old life, and this is what we're starting now.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Oh. This is one I'm going to have to sit on for a while.
Oh, we appreciate that. And now you've reached the credits, I can tell you that indeed you did have a choice. And there is another ending.
Yeah.
And in fact, we've made it really easy. If you want to, you can go back and find it now. And you don't have to play through the whole game, just the last few scenes.
You know what? I am not going to do that. So, you all heard it here. There is another scene at the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it... I mean, we've been playing this for just over 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten the full experience, and we've waffle-mancied a lot. Everybody, as if it wasn't obvious, I would absolutely recommend this wholeheartedly. So, yeah.
Thank you, Will.
There is another ending to this game which you can experience for yourself. And, yeah. Yeah.
You okay, Will?
Yeah, as Meow Kitty Sakura said, I think I can guess the 2 ways that goes down. And that's what's so... I don't know. Again, maybe I'm inferring meaning. Maybe I'm seeing more into it. But sometimes those simple choices can be the difference. Like, it wasn't just that she was, broken from losing her one moment of her one method of expressing herself, but I'm assuming that letter was something really, either her losing her position at the orchestra, either some terrible news or something. It was something that pushed her past that opening scene where we put the cello back together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is the element that caused someone we cared about to take their own life. Like, that is serious. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm so appreciative that you played through it and stuck with it. I know we're pretty much huge bastards for making this game go this way. So yeah,
It was really touching, to watch, to experience it again through fresh eyes. Not just yours, but all of you other people here experiencing this. It was nice to share.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cryo sticks. Cryo sticks.
You have been chosen. Please renew your car insurance. No, that's it. I'm out. Done.
The entire identity around the instrument, right? The friends in the orchestra, the audience, just all that hard work you put in. Yeah, the chance she must have practiced on for a long time. Yeah, I mean, when you have something really wrapped up in your identity and you lose it, I think it's a really easy way to lose yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more than, I mean, it's an expression method. It was their, it was their everything. They taught little uns how to play. They played in front of orchestras. It wasn't just a median. Oh, I meant to say medium. I know I said median. It's been a day.
Yeah.
Oh.
You should definitely hunt some monsters after this.
Oh, hell
Take
yes.
a break.
We will take a little breather. So, if any of you lovely, lovely folks have any questions for our esteemed guests, now is the time to cook them up. So, holy heck, that was a hell of an experience. And of course, now I'm looking around the feckin' menu screen. Actually, I'll go back to gameplay menu. Now I'm looking around the menu screen. I'm seeing all the things like, okay, yeah, I get those now. Feckin' bike. Because the mannequins around the credits, the exit with the smashed cello. It all makes messed up sense now.
Mm-hmm. We tried to have internal consistency in our game. Thank you, yeah.
And
a narrative experience without words.
Yay!
Why would you do that?
Because
Insane people.
You know what? We played an experience the other day, which shall remain nameless, because I do not want to bring it up in the same breath as talking about something like this, something that really has some weight to it. But their overabundance.
Sorry, what?
Just saying that this particular title's overabundance of voice acting, of VO, completely undermined the experience.
Ah.
Whereas we had one spoken line, and that was a line from our friend just saying, "Hey, come get some food." I don't mean to get all emotional on this one, but so for me personally, when I was working at CA, one of our friends passed away very suddenly, and he was our DM. We played Eve, fighting games. We were a tight knit little group, and then he got sick, and then it turned out he was really sick. And then, while we were still at the signing cards and like working out when we could go see him, he passed away. And
oh no!
Yeah, so
I'm so sorry about.
Yeah, that wrecked me, and I basically I was an asshole at work, and I hermited when I was at home, and I didn't go out, didn't hang out with people. And what I had was my friends who lived upstairs basically would break into my house, feed me, and give me a beer, and just be like, "Eat this, drink this." Stop. It's actually one of the reasons why I started doing video stuff of my own volition, because they'd come round on a Friday and we turned it into a project. We made it a thing. But yeah, those little interactions from friends can make a world of difference.
Yeah.
Just come get some food. So yeah.
I'm so glad you found some light in the darkness.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad you didn't get the other ending.
Yeah. That would have been a very different.
No, I am happy that you got this ending. Yeah.
Although I feel like the chat might have been more worried than they need to be about the other ending, but it's okay. It's okay, you guys. I'm not going to spoil anything. And IsoCrid, we don't have any other live streams, or so if you're looking for more of my voice, I don't know where you can find it, but besides the Darwin project. But making this game was strange. I mean, I've been laughing through the whole stream, and I'm a very jovial person, and a lot of us like to, we're not all sitting here in the dark and in black being depressed all the time, I swear. But it has been interesting making a game about this for the last 3+ years. But it's always validating, and it makes me happy when people can connect to the material, even if it isn't necessarily the most positive thing to be connecting to all the time. I mean, this isn't something you can do every day, all day, as a player. Like, not every game should be like this. That would be exhausting.
Yeah. I mean, at least until next year's Awesome Games Done Quick.
Yeah, so a little gothy, just a little.
If anyone needs me,
It was an opportunity for Mo and I to really, like, we both have aesthetic tastes that run toward the more miserable, the darker things, and this was a really beautiful opportunity for us to present that and work together, create this, like, all of us to create this experience. It's that word I said before when you were looking for a different word. It's
catharsis. Yeah. Yep. And for those who don't know, I mean, catharsis is basically you go through a really intense experience so that on the other side you can sort of let your emotions pour out of you. It's like you go to see a tragedy so that you can cry and let those things out that you don't necessarily get to do on an everyday basis.
Yeah,
and
sometimes you need a way to release an excuse to cry.
Absolutely. This serves a role in society.
I mean, Erin was saying something very personal, which is, they were saying, I'll be honest, devs, this definitely connected with me. I'm just broken, and I hide things with humour. So Erin wanted to say thank you for making something so pretty and soothing in an odd way.
Oh,
you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really what we were aiming to do.
Absolutely. And I know it felt like horror sometimes, but we weren't trying to. I do like that people find it calm and meditative in some ways as well. I think that's really important.
And that was also my intent when I was making the music, because personally, I find peace in very dark music. I like one of my favorite genres to listen to is dark ambient, and it's like some people might find it really depressing, but for me, it's light. It feels like it's exactly what I need to hear when I'm sad, and it helps bring me out of that. And that's sort of what I was composing with in mind as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely comes through.
Thank you, Stompasaur.
The thing
You
I
can buy
wanted
the
to,
soundtrack on Steam.
yeah, I think I can link that again. The thing I
I'm
wanted
sure
to
you're gonna
add.
put up are you gonna put up a Bandcamp or whatever?
Yes, I'm going to put on Bandcamp next month.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be available outside of Steam too for those who
Please-
liked it.
I mean, please send me that across on email, and I'll send it across to our lot as well. I guess
Cool, will do.
the thing I wanted to add on the horror was that I feel that perhaps that's the failing as games as a medium, that those tricks are only used to make someone jump or make someone afraid. Like, there aren't enough examples of those, physics warping shenanigans being used to convey other experiences. I don't think that it's a horror game as... I don't think that those are experiences that should just be for the horror genre. I feel like that's what we've had until this point. And at very least, I'd like to see others look at this and go, oh, we can do more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could have made Layers of Fear instead.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do something else.
Still can.
Yeah.
I mean, they made Layers of Fear. But we need to meet them. I feel like we have a lot in common.
No, that would.
But yeah.
If
we
you
didn't
wanna-
want to make
If you have any
Okay.
DLC plans coming up, I'm more than happy to do a faux Glaswegian voiceover for this.
Yeah, no, I mean, no. I mean, we've
Yeah.
joked about DLC all stream, but I mean, we're patching things. I don't know, honestly. Like, I don't know what we would add that was DLC that would add to the story necessarily. I mean,
That's cool.
it's
I'll give it like a Glaswegian VO. I'll be like, all right, love, you eat. How's it doing? You're playing cello, great, love. I'm gonna watch game, right?
We could just crowdsource some really weird DLC packages. That could be fun. But yeah, for now, I think we're gonna keep it classic. Keep it classic. What was Erin saying? It wasn't horror for me. Good. I mean, it wasn't meant to be, but we keep talking about that because it has a lot in common with horror games, but it wasn't meant to be one. So I'm glad it didn't land that way. That is relief.
Oh, actually, Isocrid has a very good suggestion for DLC. Add a horn to the bike. I will pay you $2 so that when driving the sections I can just go, ha ha, just ring ring.
In the photos, you can have a clown nose.
Yep.
Tyler, the photographer clown. Oh. Full parody DLC said says Zeragonas. I mean, I don't know that we could do it. I feel like if we parody our own game, we're just opening ourselves up into really weird territory. But if someone else wants to collaborate with us on it,
I don't know. I feel like it stands as it's a serious story, and it's an emotional one, and I don't think we want to go too far into that realm.
No. I mean, I think it's the place for streamers to do that, but not us. And as Erin says, it felt too familiar. Yeah, I mean, I've dated a lot of depressed people. Luckily it's never ended that way for me. But yeah, there's a lot of reality fed into this experience.
Oh, for sure. We definitely drew on our own experiences.
The dev commentary DLC, that I actually would like to do. I would like to do a dev commentary version. I think that would be great.
I would be into that as well.
I mean, as person typing has said, we've just had that as a one-off exclusive, so yeah.
I mean, we could just put this on to just Steam, basically, with your permission. Though.
But it's just the two of us. We need to poke Rami and Mo. And
yeah, if we did the whole team, that'd be pretty great. Although, oh boy, we'd never shut up, and there'd be a lot of laughing. But that's good. I guess that's what people want in a dev commentary.
I hear that. And especially, I know there's details that we as a group missed, so I would be so happy to see those. It keeps wanting me to play a new game. I'm like, I'm good. There's no new game plus or anything, right? There's not like we don't unlock any additional combos from replaying Hi, I'm using humor to offset the real feelings that are going on right now. How are you? Oh.
Oh, I just like this idea that she should have played the triangle instead. I'm like, oh boy.
I was when I was in elementary school and early high school, I was in the percussion section of the high school band, and we all did everything we could to avoid the xylophone and the triangle.
Oh. Wait, what's wrong with the xylophone? Patrick Moore played that, and he discovered space.
It's a lovely instrument, but you don't have to know your scales to play all the other instruments in percussion.
Good point. Oh my gosh, so person type thing. So it just said they just revisited Firewatch with the developers commentary and enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So as I said I almost said this earlier, but I realized it would be a spoiler. So I can say it now. We're done.
Go for it.
I didn't actually play a Firewatch. I watched the stream. I'm the worst. But
I love that game.
I actually haven't finished it. Just saw some. Anyway, but the beginning where it's text and it's basically giving you the backstory between this guy and his wife and how like they have this lively life and then she deteriorates like what early onset Alzheimer's or something like that basically, and he's just devastated and he like goes off into the woods and I'm like, oh, we're the prequel to Firewatch. Our game is the text section of Firewatch.
Wow.
In a different way.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Wow.
We should probably talk to them about doing a bundle.
Crossover.
Anamorphine, the prequel to Firewatch.
Oh boy.
We can change the characters' names, no problem.
Alrighty.
We can Madman.
Oh yeah, the dog. There's no dog. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, DLC.
I did like how in Firewatch that your choices in that felt like they had a massive impact on how that early story pans out, but in truth, they were just kind of flavoursome text, if you will. I thought that was very clever.
Yeah. It was, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. We're making that game. Like, the idea that was just flavor text to them, but to us, that was actually the game experience we were making, I found quite funny and
really
a little
like that.
weird. Yeah, I was like, well, they're making the game about the aftermath and how you, like, move on with your life, and we're making the game about how your life falls apart.
Yeah.
I think they might have had the slightly more uplifting game.
Yeah.
Just a little. Just a little. But,
I
okay.
actually want to replay
Go for
that
it.
game.
Yeah, I should probably read it.
I was just going to add that the games like Anamorphine are important. Yes, uplifting games...
Same person type thing.
And thank you, Will. I'm glad you think it's important.
Yes.
Firewatch is uplifting, but I feel like there was a lot that it didn't talk about, and there was a lot that it didn't do, and there's a lot that it didn't address.
Mm-hmm.
Considering how harsh the start of it is, you could infer how the character in Firewatch feels by the end of it, but at the same time, I still feel like, yo, this was basically his big distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely had mixed feelings about that as well in playing the game. Mixed feelings about my own character's choices.
It was interesting to be put in the shoes of a character who is running away from something.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, I mean, we're doing a bit with our character, but with the ending you got, he's kind of facing things, at least. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there was another ending.
Yeah.
And all those desert scenes you played, I mean, that's basically his attempt to escape his emotions.
So
Go to his happy place.
We have somebody who just came back in some number 2026, so we should not talk about the spoilers.
Oh, well, we passed the spoiler bits. Yes, we're done now.
Indeed.
We were discussing spoilery things.
Yeah.
But we are good.
Yeah.
And I like that person typing says, just shows what kinds of games I like. Not many. I'm weird. And they just stumbled in here tonight on the promise of something new and different. That's what we do. You didn't think I was going to step up here with some soft, indie nonsense. This is... You all don't know. This has been a back and forth organizational thing since GDC. And it has been entirely worth the wait. Entirely.
Oh, thank you, Will. I'm so glad we got to do this. I'm like, it's like a couple weeks ago, I was just like, oh, I need to email Will. We're launching. Oh, yeah. Ah. I'm glad that worked out.
Very, very yes. How has launch been for you? If you don't mind my asking.
No, it's okay. I'd say it's a mix. I mean, people are actually I think people are connecting really well with the material. What we launched with too many bugs, I would say. So for PlayStation, we had a crash, like a game-breaking crash, that because of our day one patch, but which we fixed a couple of days ago. So that's we fixed it in like a week, which isn't too bad, but it did ding us in a couple of reviews. And honestly, we went from PC to PlayStation, so the PlayStation version it's got a really long loading screens, like the little like few second loading screens you would have. Theirs are like 2 minutes each. It's a lot, and there's some frame rate drops, so it's been shaky on that end. I'd say PC reviews have been good. And VR has actually been, it's also had some bugs, but we're fixing those too. So, like, I'd love to say, like, everyone loves it. It's super positive. But, like, it was our first game. We only have 2 programmers. We're such a small team that, like, yeah, technically it came off with a couple of hitches. But I think after the next week or so, like, those should all be basically cleared up, like the really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Have you played Brutal?
Brutal?
The sexy Brutal.
No, what is that?
Very good and entirely worth your time.
Oh, interesting. I've heard of it.
Isocrid saying, so it's like the Bloodborne of walking sims. That is a great way to describe this.
I haven't played that either, so I don't know.
Oh, that's a great way to lose an entire week. Okay. So if there are no more questions in chat, I'd like to bring this section to a close.
Thank you, Crasdix. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, everyone. This was so much fun.
Hell's
I mean, very depressing.
It's, like I said, it was good and important. This is going to be one of those things that I'm going to be thinking about for a long-ass time.
Oh, thank you, Will.
So I've linked the Steam store page again in chat. You can pick up the soundtrack on Steam currently. There will be a Bandcamp link, I believe you were saying, some point soon?
Yeah, I'm putting out a Bandcamp link next month.
Yeah. I don't know. What else have I missed?
And thanks, Aaron. We'll enjoy our scotch.
Yeah, please enjoy your scotch for me. I'm still a few hours away from sinking a few, so...
Scotch appropriate time?
Yeah. I can't do day drinking anymore. It just sends me to sleep.
I can't day drink either, thank you. Oh.
My powers are gone in that regards. If I have a pint before, before 4, it's nap time. It's snooze o'clock.
I know. Yeah, I'm useless. I get it.
Someone else gets me.
Anyway, we'll let you go hunt some monsters, something light like that. But thank you so much for playing, and thank you so much for having us on. This was a really excellent 3.5 hours.
Yeah. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on, for sharing this with us, and thank you for making this, yo. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we could. It's a privilege and an honor.
Okay. Well, I will annoy you both via email, so to be continued.
Please do. Okay. All right. Have a good evening. Bye, stream.
Bye,
we love you.
everybody.
All right. Bye.
And it is just us, so let's go back to talk show. So after that little experience, I'm going to take a little break. I'm just going to go, breathe, eat some food. Don't worry, I'm not in a bad way, but that was some very heavy. So I'm going to be back with you all in, should we say, half an hour or so? I'm going to get right stuck into some Monster Hunter World. I don't want to undermine what a cracking experience this was. So yeah. What a hell of a game, everybody. Hell of a game. I could probably wax lyrical with you all about the importance of emotional experiences like this, about how I feel video games is head and shoulders above a lot of other mediums for showing not the reality but the feeling, showing the emotion behind. And I think Anamorphine is a poster child for how to do it well. Yeah. It's been a day. It's been a most excellent day. There was a secondary ending to this one, so if you want to pick up this game for yourself, there's more to it. There's more than you have seen, and it is entirely worth your time. I guess the other reason why I was emotionally invested in this one today is that there was a really, really snarky article about how Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice wasn't a good enough representation of mental illness in video games, and I was this close to going full bad word on Twitter, just raging at this person because it was just it was a well written but poorly thought out, like, rage bait piece, and it annoyed me. It annoyed me that a piece of art that is designed to evoke understanding and empathy was getting dragged over the coals in an editorial, whereas games which give no hot fecks were just allowed to bounce around. All right, fine. That's the and it's only because the Hellblade team was an indie team that they could throw stones at them, and they're now owned by Microsoft, so props to them. So yeah, right. I'm going to eat some food, I'm going to breathe, and then we're going to come back for some Monster Hunter World in about half an hour. So let's say 5:30-ish? Well, yeah, so like 30... Hey! Stomposaurus, thank you kindly. Saying, that's a shot for the feels and emotion with $5. Thank you everyone who's donated so far. So, yeah. If you have a look in the Discord, we've got some cool things going on over there. Also, everyone has been trying to help Erin get up and running for Monster Hunter World. So, I don't have a solution because I've obviously been here streaming. But, Erin, if there's things that me or the rest of the crew can do, it seems like you've got a lot of people supporting you now, but just know, you got my axe. We'll help you out as best I can, alright? Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. Just thank you, Stompy, Isocrid, Javier, for the donations. Thank you all for supporting this. I love the fact that we had as many people hanging out today for a journey through someone's emotional experience of dealing with a person with depression, as much as we had yesterday of people trying to fight me on Dead Cells, as much as we've had people hanging out when we're playing Shooty McBangbang's Crunch Face Adventures. I'm extremely, which is like extremely and exceedingly combined, proud to be the human megaphone and host of this here operation. So, thank you all. Right, enough wafflemancy from me. We shall return shortly with some Monster Hunter World, alright? So, yeah, go get yourself some proper food, and we'll be back in just a second.